from Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is Vincent Price. I'm calling from Hollywood.
Oh, sure. My name's Shirley Temple. Now, who is it and what... Really, Vincent Price?
Do I sound like Mickey Rooney?
Well, no. But now, tell me, Mr. Price.
Now, look, the name is Vincent.
Okay, Vincent. What can I do for you?
Johnny, I have a little problem in connection with one of my paintings insured for $100,000.
$100,000? You call that a little problem?
This painting has suddenly disappeared.
Oh, I see. What's the insurance company?
State Mutual.
Oh, well, they have a small branch office right there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know, but Bert Parker, the man who sold me the policy and should take care of this matter, well, every time I've called him, he's been out. And I learned just this morning that nobody knows where he is.
Okay, Vincent, I'll grab the first plane.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the State Mutual Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Price of Fame matter. Expense account item 1, $178.50, plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to Los Angeles. By the time the big silver Constellation made its landing at the international airport, it finally dawned on me that I hadn't arranged with Vincent Price about where and how and what time I'd meet him. But as I picked up my luggage, I discovered a hungry-looking crowd of autograph hounds milling about the tall, gracious man I was looking for.
Oh, sure. I'm glad to. Look, but just one at a time, will you please? I can't very well. All right, there you are. Now I have to meet a friend.
Gee, just one more, please. Huh, Mr. Price?
All right, if you insist. Here. Best wishes from T. Willie Rocking Horse.
Huh?
How are you, Johnny?
Oh, great, but I didn't expect...
Johnny who?
You mean to say you folks don't recognize Johnny Dollar?
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Attaboy, Johnny. Give 'em all. I'll wait for you in my car. It's right over here at the curb.
Yeah, but look, will you? Hey.
Right here, Mr.
No,
Price.
no, you don't. I'm nobody. Please. By the time I got away from that mob, I felt as though I'd been run through a ringer. But we finally took off in Vincent's car and drove to his beautiful home up in one of the canyons west of Beverly Hills. Nestled among the trees with spacious lawns and well-kept gardens, it's furnished in the most excellent taste. I'm no expert, but to say that I was impressed by the extraordinary works of art in that home would be the understatement of the week. Engravings, prints, fine sculptures, but most of all, paintings. And even to my unpracticed eye, all of them were, well, magnificent.
Here's a little thing I picked up in London, Johnny. It's called The Old Man in Red by Goya.
Wow. Yeah, I thought original oils by him were found only in the big museums.
Well, I've been pretty lucky in getting hold of some of these.
Yeah, you've known what you were doing, too.
You like this one? It's called Fright. It was painted by Kenneth McManus.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Like all the rest of them.
Thanks. How about this one here at the end?
Night Wind by, I'm sorry, Vincent, I can't make out that name. You don't have this one lighted like the rest.
No, that's to maintain its somber mood, Johnny.
Oh.
And that's what made it possible for the substitution of this copy to go undetected.
That's a copy?
Yeah, and that's my problem. The $100,000 Night Wind by Jean-Baptiste has been stolen. This was left in its place.
Oh, I see.
It's not a bad copy, probably worth a couple of $100, but it's hardly a genuine Baptiste.
Well, when did you discover this substitution, Vincent?
When I returned from a lecture tour early last week.
Oh, that's right. You've been traveling all over the country lecturing on art,
Well,
haven't
let's
you?
call it talking about art, huh?
Tell me, have you notified the police about this?
I suppose I should have. Well, I felt that was Bert Parker's job.
And you haven't been able to reach him over at State Mutual?
As I told you on the phone, he hasn't been in his office for some time.
Vincent, have you any theories about who might have done this?
Yes, I'm afraid I have.
Why do you say it that way?
Very few people knew I'd gotten hold of this Baptiste, only some close friends and a couple of art experts.
So?
And the place was not broken into during the time I was away. Of that I'm sure.
Well, go on.
Well, the family and servants kept very close track of anyone who entered the house while I was gone.
You have a list?
Yes, I do have a list. Here.
Good. Alfred R. Hawkinson.
That's an electrician who came to do some wiring. He wouldn't know a Rembrandt from a Mickey Mouse.
Ann M.
A
Schumann.
music teacher, loves music, hates paintings.
What about delivery boys, people like that?
They never get beyond the back door. Go on, read on. That next one is Ben, the gardener. You can forget about him.
And Bert L. Huh?
Yeah, Bert Parker. He was here twice.
What for?
Well, ostensibly to check on some of the paintings he'd insured. The first time, on the 11th, Mrs. Price was with him while he poked around. On the 15th, she had to leave to keep an appointment. And just when he left the house, nobody seems to know.
Oh, brother. Are you thinking the same thing I am?
Now, look, Johnny, I haven't known Bert very long, and, well, he seemed like such a harmless little old fuddy-duddy. As for his knowledge of art...
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Well, he was perfectly satisfied to take my evaluation on the 2 or 3 things he'd insured. So, well, Johnny, I may be all wrong.
Vincent, a thing like this may only happen once in 1,000 years. In any event, the company will certainly make good your loss.
Well, with a work of art, it isn't really the money that counts. And, Johnny, listen. Look, I may have jumped to a completely unjustified conclusion about Bert Parker.
Oh, yeah? Sure. Well, let's go down to his office and see.
We'll return to Johnny Dollar and the Price of Fame matter. That's Vincent Price in just a moment. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Price of Fame matter.
A priceless original oil painting, stolen from the home of Vincent Price, famous radio and picture star. One of the few people who'd had the opportunity was the man who'd sold him the insurance on it, Bert Parker. Together, we went to Parker's office at 4 State Mutual in downtown Los Angeles.
It was on the 16th that Mr. Parker phoned in to say he wasn't feeling very good and wouldn't be in for a day or two.
Hey, it was on the 15th that he was at your house, Vincent.
Yes, that's over 2 weeks ago.
And you haven't heard from him since, Miss Pritt?
No, Mr. Dollar. We've tried calling his apartment, but since there hasn't been anything really pressing here at the office...
What's the address of his apartment, please?
Well, it's out in Westwood, 1308 Pandora Avenue.
Look, Vincent, I'm going out there. I'll call you if I find...
You're going to need transportation, aren't you, Johnny?
By the highest price chauffeur in the country? Sure, why not?
Oh, before you go, Mr. Price, I wonder if I could have your autograph.
Well, why didn't you get Johnny Dollars, Miss Pritt? He loves to give them.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. No, you don't, Vincent. Let's go. It took a little persuading, but the landlord at Bert's apartment finally let us into his 4-room suite. It was empty, except for a few old clothes, and it was obvious that he'd packed and left in a hurry. I rummaged around in the closets, tables, bureau, for a clue as to where he might have gone, and came up with nothing.
You give up, Johnny?
Yeah, Vincent, I'm afraid so.
I poked around that desk some more after you'd finished with it and found this wedged in behind a drawer.
Oh? Travel folder. Paris.
Yeah, it looks real fresh, too.
Minor Travel Agency, Beverly Hills.
Well, what do you think?
Pretty much of a long shot, Vincent.
But they do pay off sometimes, don't they?
Planned a trip for myself, yes, sir. First class all the way.
What was the departure date, Mr. Miner?
16th, first class, straight to Paris.
Oh, brother. Paris is a pretty big place.
Did you make any arrangements for him for after he got there?
Only for when he arrived. Reservation at the Louvois.
What?
The hotel, Louvois.
The Louvois, perhaps.
That's what I said. First class, too. Said he wanted something not too far from the Montmartre.
Montmartre, if you don't mind.
That's what I said, yes. Now, can I fix you gentlemen up with some plane reservations, too?
Well, suppose you give me the same flight he took, and I'll stop at the same hotel when I get there.
Hey, wait a minute, Johnny. You're not going to leave me out of this.
Well, look, I'm still playing a long shot, Vincent, a very long one.
What's the difference?
Also, I don't know if my expense account will get by the home office.
Expense account, forget it. I'm having a ball. Mr. Miner, start making those reservations.
Expense account item 2, $984 for the plane to Paris. Well, it turned out to be the most interesting flight I've ever made because of the company of Vincent Price. An amazing conversationalist, he could talk about anything, including art. And he has a tremendous sense of humor. So, as he put it, we had a ball from the time we took off in L.A. till the time we set down in Le Bourget. Item 3, 520 American, taxi into the Hotel Louvois, where the manager was, somewhat helpful.
Oh, mais oui. The Monsieur Parker leave us but only 2 days ago, after some slight misunderstanding about l'addition, the deal.
Yeah, you mean he was running out of money?
Monsieur, I did not say that.
That's what you meant, isn't it?
You know where he spent his time around here?
But of course, his business, he say, took him constantly to Montmartre.
Where in Montmartre?
Who is to know?
That's like saying somewhere in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Perhaps you know my cousin.
Johnny,
He was...
Johnny, I just got an idea.
Shoot.
Works of art, even very good ones, are sometimes sold in rather unorthodox ways. They go through some rather strange hands. They're not always sold over the counter, so to speak, by reputable dealers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how to contact the kind of people who might... You got any ideas?
Why don't you just go on up to our suite and sit tight for a while, I'll see what I can dig out.
You are keeping something from me, Vincent.
Mm-hmm. But, Johnny, there are some things even funk keeps from Wagnalls. I'll see you later.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Price of Fame Matter.
All of gay, romantic Paris just outside the door, and time on my hands. So what did I do? Took Vincent Price's advice, went back to my room at the Hotel Louvois, and waited. 2, 3, 4 hours. Finally, shortly after 8 p.m., Vincent came in bearing a couple of packages.
Sorry to have made you wait, Johnny, but I think I'm on the trail of something.
Looks to me like you've been on a shopping spree.
Props, Johnny, for you.
Have you found out where Bert Parker is?
No, but I think you will. Here, try this on.
Huh? What's this all about? A 10-gallon hat?
Yeah, I had to guess at your size.
Where in Paris did you find this?
Try it on.
Oh, what do you... Holy... What am I supposed to be, a refugee from Texas?
Exactly. You made it in oil wells. Your name is Matthew.
Huh?
You're over here to see the sights, all the wild nightlife you've heard about, the Folie Bergère, Rue Blondel, Place Pigalle. Here, try on this shirt.
Oh, brother. Look, I don't know what this is all about, but hadn't we better get something to eat?
Try it on.
If you don't take me to one of the world-famous restaurants in this town...
Maybe tomorrow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's good. That shirt's going to be all right.
What do you mean tomorrow?
Here, now, stick this genuine simulated imitation diamond-type stick pin in the front. Wait a minute, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, what the Sam...
There you are, and with this big hunk of glass on your finger. There, now, look at you.
Oh, you look. I'm hungry.
Well, maybe you'll even get food where you're going.
Now, where do you think I'm going in this rig?
To a little joint on the Rue Blondel called the Bal Macabre.
Now, what am I supposed to do there, if I go there?
Sit around. Look prosperous. And see what happens.
Oh, Vincent.
Remember, you made it in oil. Millions.
Yeah, but Vincent...
Also, you're interested in art, and your name is Matthew.
Look, will you...
On your way, Johnny. The taxi that's waiting for you out front knows exactly where to take you.
The Bal Macabre was really a joint. It was dirty, and the people packed like sardines in it were dirty, too. Characters who made a business of being characters. And everybody screamed at everybody else. Except, that is, for the wormy little man who sidled up to the postage stamp-sized table on which my glass and a bottle of wine were balanced.
Oh, pardon. You are Mr. Matthews, are you not?
That's right.
From Texas? No?
Yes, sir, partner. The great and glorious state of Texas. Sit down and pour yourself a glass of this here red ink. Who are you?
They call me La Chagrin.
What's that mean?
Well, they're what you call the gray cat.
Hey, that's cuter than the name of my old friend Coyote Bill.
Well, do you enjoy the Paris nightlife?
You know something? I'm getting fed up with it. Yeah, I think I'll just buy me a couple of nice pictures and go on back home.
What kind of pictures, monsieur?
Well, good ones. Oil pictures. Like that Mona Lisa I seen at the Louvre. You know, good ones, I mean.
Well, like a Jean-Baptiste, perhaps?
You mean you know where a man could get a hold of a genuine one of them?
Well, for a price, of course.
Well, listen, I got money and I'll spend it. Why, I offered them $500,000 for that Mona Lisa, but they turned me down. But if I could get a hold of a genuine Baptiste, well, partner, you just name the price.
Oh, well, I make no promises, mon ami. But I do have a friend. And for a slight consideration...
Name your price and take me to it.
I will be waiting for you at the corner with the taxi. That is what you call okay?
Okay.
I shall be waiting.
I'll be there, partner. You bet I will. And I'd certainly like to know how Vincent set this up. The taxi dropped us off at one of the most disreputable-looking apartments in the whole of Paris. My friend, who called himself the Gray Cat, looked carefully around before entering the front door. Then we climbed 4 flights of a dark, musty stairway.
No, remember, my friend, you are not to pay the price he asks at first. If you like, I will make the arrangements for you.
Now, that would be right friendly of you, partner. But how would you come out on this?
Well, all I ask, monsieur, is 10% of what you pay.
And maybe a little extra from him for bringing me up here?
Oh, monsieur.
Oh, now, don't give me that, partner. I've been around. I'm wise to how you fellas operate. But if I can get a hold of a real, genuine Baptiste...
You will see.
Yes? Who is it?
I have brought a friend, Monsieur Matthews from Texas.
Yes?
Yes, he would like to buy The Night Wind by Baptiste.
That is, if it's genuine.
Genuine? Of course it's genuine.
There, on the table. Can't you see for yourself that it's the original? Oh, no.
Well, Bert Parker.
Johnny Dollar.
That's right. Insurance investigator.
Investigate you? Oh, I've just remembered somebody is waiting for me.
That's right, I am.
Mr. Price. Oh, no.
Well, pardon, Monsieur Price, but I must go.
Without your fee for taking care of Mr. Dollar?
Listen, both of you, please. I'll give you back the painting. I'll do anything you ask.
Oh, drop dead.
Oh, dear. Dear.
Well, Vincent, there it is.
Yep.
And it looks like the company has saved a cool $100,000.
I have a confession to make about that, Johnny.
Yeah, like how you happen to know the way to the painting through that squirmy little fellow who brought me here.
Oh, well, that's how I got hold of the Baptiste in the first place. It's a lovely thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
And, Johnny, it is worth $100,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the truth of the matter is, I paid only $300 for it.
You paid... Oh, no.
It's a fact.
Well, you've got it back, thanks to your own efforts.
Thanks to your being the front man. If I'd tried to get it back myself, these people would have run like scared rats.
Oh, sure. Just tell me one thing, will you? Why aren't you an insurance investigator?
Well, you know, it's every man to his own. Well, after all, why aren't you an actor?
Let's get out of here. Disposition of Bert Parker? Well, that's entirely up to the company. Vincent, now that he has the painting back, doesn't care one way or the other. However, from the company's standpoint, well, it's not the kind of black eye that's good for you. Expense account total, including incidentals and transportation back to the States, $2,341. Remarks? Well, to Vincent Price, my eternal thanks. Not only for the help on this case, but most of all because it's given me a chance to really know him. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment. Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, the heart of sunny southern Jersey, and a case that took a very sudden, very strange twist. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Junius Matthews, Tony Barrett, Forrest Lewis, Howard McNear, and of course our special guest, Vincent Price. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny, Universal Adjustment Bureau.
Hi, Pat. What's on your mind?
$75,000.
Yours or somebody else's?
Johnny, ever hear of the Subala diamond?
Sabana. Yeah, matter of fact, I have. It's a pink diamond, isn't it?
That's right. One of the companies we represent wrote a $75,000 policy on it. The owner of the stone, a jeweler named Joseph Wentworth, was trying to sell it.
So?
So last night, the Subala diamond was stolen.
I'll be right over.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Rolling Stone matter. Expense account item 1, $1.20 cab fare from my apartment to the office of Universal Adjustment Bureau. Pat McCracken gave me what additional dope he had, which wasn't much, and I headed for New York. That's item 2, $26.40, and the apartment of Joseph Wentworth.
I was just released from the hospital an hour ago. They kept me overnight for observation.
Nothing serious, I hope, Mr. Wentworth.
No, I was hit on the back of the head. At first, they suspected a skull fracture, but it was only a slight concussion.
Well, you're lucky.
Practically my total assets stolen, and you call it lucky.
You mean the Sabala diamond?
I borrowed heavily to purchase that stone, Mr. Dollar. I'm afraid I'm just about ruined.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was insured for $75,000.
You don't understand. The insurance money will barely cover the loans. The diamond wasn't insured for its full value.
Oh, I see.
And what's worse, I had a customer for it. I was almost ready to close the deal. Could have gotten at least $100,000, maybe more.
Try to tell me exactly what happened, Mr. Wentworth.
Last evening, Eloise stopped by the shop at 6. We were going to have dinner together.
Eloise?
Eloise Barnes, my fiancée. I started to close up, and I remembered I'd forgotten to put some things in the safe. She went down the street a ways to hail a taxi, and I went back inside.
And left the front door unlocked?
I must have. I was in a hurry. I opened the safe, then I heard a sound behind me. I started to turn, but too late. That's the last I remember.
The police figure out what you were hit with?
Yes, a heavy brass candlestick in my shop. Then when Eloise brought me to, the Sabala diamond was gone.
Just a minute. You say Eloise brought you to?
Yes. You see, when I didn't come right back outside, she started wondering what had happened. She came in and found me lying on the floor.
Uh-huh. How long have you known Eloise, Mr. Wentworth?
About a year. Why?
Mind giving me her address? I think I'd like to talk to her. Expense account item 3, $1.80 cab fare to Eloise Barnes' apartment. Eloise looked, if anything, more expensive than the Sabala diamond. And I had the feeling that underneath that lovely surface, she was almost as hard. Her gray eyes never left my face as we talked, and I got the impression she had neatly weighed me, cataloged me, and put a price tag on me.
Afraid I can't help you much, Johnny. Joe Wentworth apparently told you all there is to tell about it.
You were out looking for a taxi at the time Wentworth got slugged.
That's right. I feel sorry for Joe. That was a lot of diamond to lose.
Must be quite a stone.
If you go for those things. I don't know. I guess some people really have a thing about diamonds.
But not you, huh?
All right. Just happens there are a couple of things I prefer.
Like what?
Like money and mink.
But now, according to your fiancé, you were...
Just a minute. According to my what?
Your fiancé, Wentworth.
Well, Johnny, that may be his idea, but it's not mine.
Well, you're not engaged.
Joe's been very nice to me, and I like him. But we're just friends, so far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
I'm afraid I'm not the engaged type, Johnny. I've tried it once or twice, but it didn't work. Seems to interfere with my hobby.
Your hobby?
Yes. Having fun. What's your hobby, Johnny?
Well, at the moment, trying to find the Sabala diamond.
Then what?
Well, I have been known to have fun now and then.
Johnny, I hope you find the diamond real soon.
The invitation was printed in large type, but this was no time for an RSVP, especially since I remembered Wentworth mentioning a customer who'd been anxious to buy the diamond just before it was stolen. I called Wentworth and got the man's name, Gerald Mantell, who had an apartment just off Fifth Avenue in the East 70s.
Ah, yes, Mr. Dollar, the Sabala diamond. An exquisite stone. The pink radiance of it when it caught the light, positively hypnotic. Such a pity it was stolen.
Mr. Wentworth tells me he was negotiating with you for the sale of that diamond.
That is correct. Unfortunately, we had reached a stalemate yesterday. You see, he wanted more than the diamond is worth.
Well, maybe that's a matter of opinion.
Mr. Dollar, I am a collector and a connoisseur. I know what such things are worth.
Oh, yes.
I only hope it'll be recovered before Friday. It would make things so much more enjoyable for me.
What happens Friday?
I'm leaving for Europe.
Oh? Business trip?
Not really. As a matter of fact, more of an impulse than anything else. Anything wrong with that?
Well, Mr. Mantell, that's a good question.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Our flag now numbers 50 stars. And behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Alabama's state flag is of St. Andrew, the symbol of the Confederacy and the national flag of Scotland. Alabama's state capital, Montgomery, served as the first capital of the Confederacy, and it was on the steps of its Capitol building that Jefferson Davis took the oath of office as President of the Confederated States of America. The Scottish cross is in the form of an X, or saltire, and is also found on the state flags of Georgia and Mississippi. Perhaps it is the independent, rugged spirit of the Scots that recommended its national symbol to the Confederacy as a symbol of its rebellion. Alabama's state flag, the flag of the 22nd state to enter the Union, was adopted on February 16, 1895.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Rolling Stone Matter.
I went back to my hotel, stretched out on the bed, and went over the whole thing in my mind. Eloise, who liked the things that money could buy, and who supposedly had been looking for a taxi while Wentworth was slugged and the diamond lifted. Then there was Gerald Mantell, the collector, who was now suddenly leaving for Europe. Yeah, could be either of them. Johnny Dollar.
You looking for the Sabala diamond, Mr. Dollar?
What's that?
Well, that doesn't matter. I know where the diamond is.
Oh, where?
Not so fast, Dollar. I'm sure the insurance company you represent would pay quite a bit to get that stone back. The question is, how much?
Oh, there's a bigger question than that, friend. Whether you're on the level or not.
Suppose I can show you the case the diamond was kept in. Would you be convinced then?
Maybe.
Antonio's bar on East 53rd?
Yeah.
Maybe there in an hour.
Now, wait a minute. How'll I know you?
I'll know you.
Hey, wait a minute. Item 4, $2 even drinks at Antonio's while I waited for my telephone buddy to contact me. A half hour went by. Nothing happened. Then somebody came in and went to a corner booth. Not the person I'd been expecting, but just as interesting. So I went over. Hello, Eloise.
Johnny, sit down.
Oh, thanks. Expecting someone?
All sorts of people. But this is a pleasant surprise. What brings you around here?
Business, I thought.
You know, Johnny, you've got a one-track mind. Always business. With that attitude, you miss a lot.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, here you are, Eloise. Oh, why, it's Mr. Dollar.
Well, Mr. Mantell.
Sit down, Gerald.
I didn't know you two knew each other.
Oh, yes, we've been friends for years. As a matter of fact, it was Eloise who told me about the Sabala diamond.
Oh? You didn't tell me that, Eloise.
You didn't ask me, Johnny. Oh, Gerald, the head waiter seems to be signaling to you.
That's so I see. I'll be right back.
Well, look, Eloise, I think I'd better be getting along.
Don't leave, Johnny.
You've got a date with Mantell.
He just wanted to have a drink with me before he left for Europe. I told him I was meeting Joe Wentworth here, so he said he'd stop by for a minute.
Did Wentworth know that you and Mantell are old friends?
I saw no reason to tell him, Johnny. Joe's very tiresome about things like that.
You mean he's jealous?
I wonder what happened to Gerald.
This trip he's taking to Europe, I gather he got the idea rather suddenly.
Gerald's very impulsive that way.
Yeah. Well, I'll be getting along, Eloise. Looks like the man I came here to meet isn't going to show.
I can't imagine what's keeping Joe. I'd say we've both been stood up, Johnny. Maybe we should do something about it,
Well, as I told you right now, the only thing I have on my mind is...
I know. That diamond. A girl could get tired of waiting, Johnny.
Eloise, I don't think you've ever waited very long for anything. See you later.
I'll count on it, Johnny.
Dollar?
What? Oh, Wentworth. We were wondering what has happened to you.
Mr. Dollar, I'm certain you're a very efficient investigator, but it seems to me that you've questioned Eloise all you need to.
Oh?
Or have your conversations with her now reached the unofficial stage?
Oh, now look,
If
Wentworth.
that is the case, and I suspect it is, I'd better remind you that Eloise...
Maybe I'd better remind you of a couple of things, Wentworth. In the first place, you...
Mr. Johnny Dollar?
Yeah, over here, waiter.
Dollar? Oh. Mr. Dollar, it's a note and a package for you, sir. A gentleman just left with me.
Did he give his name?
Oh, no, sir, no. But he was a short man in stocky and he wore a gray suit.
Okay, thanks. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
As I started to say,
Hold
Dollar...
on, will you, Wentworth? Couldn't take a chance contacting you. Somebody was following me. Contents of the package will show you I know what I'm talking about. We'll contact you later.
What's this all about, Dollar?
It's from a man who phoned me a couple of hours ago. If it's what I think is, then his package... Yeah. Empty jewel case. Your name on it, Wentworth.
What? That's the case I kept the Sabala diamond in.
Yeah. See you later, Wentworth.
Where are you going, Dollar?
Back to my hotel room and wait to hear from him. I went outside and started for the corner to grab a cab. As I passed the alley, I spotted something sprawled on the ground. A body. It was Gerald Mantell.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
The way a man conducts himself at ease or under stress shows what he's made of. It shows his character under the strongest light. This is particularly true when a man becomes a prisoner of war. One of the points of the Code of Conduct of the American fighting man says, "If I become a prisoner of war, I will keep faith with my fellow prisoners. I will give no information nor take part in any action which might be harmful to my comrades. If I am senior, I will take command. If not, I will obey the lawful orders of those appointed over me, and will back them up in every way. The very essence of the ideals set forth in those words were displayed by Commander, later Rear Admiral, Richard Antrim in April 1942, while a prisoner of war in Macassar, Dutch East Indies, during World War II. Acting instantly on behalf of a naval officer who was subjected to heavy punishment, Commander Antrim boldly tried to quiet the guard and to persuade him to discuss the charges against the officer. The guard refused. Tension increased. The entire enemy prison force was faced by 2,700 Allied prisoners. An order was given to continue the punishment. Suddenly, Commander Antrim, at the risk of his own life, stepped forward and volunteered to take the remainder of the punishment. This sudden move got a roar of acclaim from the inspired Allied troops and so amazed the enemy that both men were spared any further indignities or punishment. Commander Antrim's heroic and unselfish conduct brought about better conditions for the prisoners and earned new respect for American officers and men. Commander Richard Antrim upheld the highest ideals of an officer and earned for himself the Medal of Honor.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Rolling Stone Matter.
Mantell, come out of it. Come on.
My head.
Here. I'll help you. All right, easy now. Are you okay?
Yes.
So, who did it?
I don't know, Dollar. The head waiter told me a taxi driver wanted to see me outside. I came out, but there was no cab in sight. I thought he might be at the corner, so I started walking.
Past the alley here?
Yes. Mr. Dollar, why would anyone want to beat me up?
I can think of one possibility, Mantell.
Yes?
You wanted the Sabala diamond pretty badly, but Wentworth wouldn't sell at your price.
Are you suggesting...
I'm suggesting you lifted the diamond and somebody was trying to get it back from you just now.
But I don't have the diamond. I never did.
Maybe you know where it is.
No, I swear I don't. As for getting beaten up just now, I'm every bit as much in the dark as you are.
I didn't know whether he was telling the truth or not, but I had no proof he was lying. Item 5, $1 even, a pot of coffee in my hotel room when I tried to pull some threads together, but they didn't pull. If Mantell had the stone, who'd phoned me and sent the empty jewel case to convince me he had information? How did he fit? Yeah, coming. Oh, Wentworth, come in.
Hey, Mr. Dollar, I have some information that will interest you.
Yeah?
Yes, first, though, I owe you an apology for, flying off the handle when I saw you with Eloise at Antonio's.
Okay, so you're touchy about Eloise. Now, what's the information?
Well, just a few minutes ago, a man telephoned me at my apartment.
Huh?
Yes, I think he was the same one who phoned you and sent the empty jewel case.
Well, what'd he say?
That he knew where the diamond was, and for a price would furnish the information.
Ah. Now, I wonder why he suddenly switched negotiations from me to you.
Well, perhaps he thought it too dangerous to continue with you.
Yeah, maybe. Speaking of danger, I wish I could locate this character before something happens to him.
That's the point, Mr. Dollar. I think I know where he is.
How?
Well, he must have placed his call to me through a switchboard, because I heard an operator in the background saying, Hotel Macefield.
Hotel Macefield, huh? Thanks for the lead, Wentworth. I'll check with you later. I headed for the Macefield and described the man I was looking for to the desk clerk. The clerk said his name was Krause, that he'd checked out that morning. This I didn't get because he'd called Wentworth from the hotel shortly before. I had the clerk let me into Krause's room, hoping I could find some lead on where he'd gone. I did. A scratch pad with the imprint of a pencil still visible. A phone number and a name, Cathcart Hotel. I headed there fast and was referred to room 413. What? Hello, Krause.
There must be a mistake. My name is Collins.
Don't give me that. Your name's Krause, and you're the guy who phoned me and said he had information about that diamond.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Oh, come on, let's quit playing games. When you called Wentworth a while ago, he found out the name of the hotel.
It's a lie. I haven't talked to him since...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Wentworth lied about that phone call. Why? Because he hoped I'd find you for him. But you had talked to him earlier. Yeah, the theft of that diamond was rigged between you and Wentworth, wasn't it? And you slugged him to make it look legitimate. Well? Yeah. But now you're hiding from Wentworth. Why? What happened to your cozy little partnership?
It was blackmail, Dollar.
Wentworth.
Don't move, either of you.
Well, Wentworth, it looks as though I figured you right. You thought I might have better luck finding Krause than you had, so you gave me his last known address and followed me. Now, what's this about blackmail?
I thought I could trust you, Krause.
Look, I wasn't really going to blackmail you. You got to believe that.
I think I get it now. Krause was supposed to turn the stone over to you after a decent time had elapsed. Instead, he held on to it and tried to blackmail you about your being involved in the fake robbery. That's why he pretended to open negotiations with me, to scare you into buying.
Yes, but you made a big mistake, Krause, trying to blackmail a desperate man. I had no money to pay you. I needed every cent from the insurance and from what we'd get for the stone when it was cut and sold.
Why, Wentworth? Why'd you need the money? For Eloise?
For Eloise.
Does she know about all this?
No, she knows nothing about this. But she wants so many things, and I want to give them to her. I've got to hold on to her.
Brother.
Oh, you wouldn't understand. You don't know what it's like when a girl like that gets into your blood. You're willing to do anything.
Like a couple of murders, Wentworth? You willing to add them to your list, too?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh, now, look, put that thing down. Why don't you stop kidding yourself about Eloise?
She loves me, Dollar. I tell you, she loves me.
Are you kidding? She told me what she loves. Mink and money. How long do you think she'd stick with you after the money ran out?
Get back. Stay where you are.
You're a thief and a fool, Wentworth, but you're not a killer.
Stay away.
So you just better give me that gun right now. Thanks.
You're right about Eloise. I guess I always knew it, but I just couldn't face it.
You just did.
And you were right about me, Dollar. I'm no killer.
You want to know something, Wentworth? I wasn't sure about that at all. Expense account total, including the trip home, $146 even. Remarks? Krause handed over the diamond. He and Wentworth are both in custody. It was Wentworth who beat up Mantell for hanging around Eloise. And Eloise, last I heard, she was going her merry way, having fun, as she calls it. I never did accept her invitation to join her after the diamond had been recovered, and I'm not about to. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment. Our flag now numbers 50 stars, and behind each star there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. The origin of Hawaii's state flag has been the subject of much debate. It is now believed that it was the work of foreign advisors to King Kamehameha. Legend also has it that it was designed at the request of King Kamehameha by George Beckley, an English sea captain. The flag consists of 8 horizontal and alternating stripes of white, red, and blue, representing the 8 major islands in the chain. Also represented is the British Union Jack, a reminder of Captain Vancouver, who on his voyage around the world in 1794 gave King Kamehameha a British flag and the promise of British protection. The Union Jack is also a reminder of Captain James Cook, who discovered the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. Hawaii's state flag, the flag of the 50th state to enter the Union, was adopted in 1845. Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, well, the title of the yarn is The Ghost to Ghost Matter, and the story lives up to it. So join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Today's story was written by Robert Stanley. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Larry Dobkin, Forrest Lewis, Edgar Barrier, and Don Diamond. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
Ray Kemper, Johnny.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kemper.
Are you available?
Oh, very much so.
We insured a Mrs. William Post, New York City. She was killed last night.
Yeah, how?
Murdered. A private detective named Paul Sachs and a lawyer named George Simon found her in her apartment. She'd been stabbed to death.
Any suspects?
Yeah, her husband, William Post. Lieutenant Roseman of the 5th Precinct is handling the case. Contact him. He expects you.
Okay, I can leave in an hour.
the makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you John Lund in another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
For refreshing taste, plus chewing enjoyment, treat yourself to delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. When your mouth and throat feel hot and dry, a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint gives you quick, long-lasting refreshment. The lively, full-bodied spearmint flavor cools your mouth and freshens your taste. The chewing itself helps keep your throat pleasantly moist. Best of all, you can chew and enjoy refreshing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum almost any time and any place. Keep a package handy right in your purse or pocket so you can chew a stick whenever you want it. For refreshing taste plus chewing enjoyment, treat yourself to delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Millions enjoy it, and you will, too.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Columbia All Risk Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the William Post matter. Expense account item 1, $18.90, train fare and incidentals between Hartford and New York City. I arrived in the afternoon, registered at the hotel, and rented a car, which I drove to the 5th Precinct Police Station, where I met Lieutenant Roseman, an old friend.
I haven't seen you in a long time, Johnny. How's it going?
Oh, can't complain. You're a lieutenant now.
Yeah, getting up in the world.
Well, how about filling me in on this Post killing?
Sure. The woman's name is Teresa Post. Married to William Post, banker. She was found last night in her apartment, stabbed 4 times. Gag shoved in her mouth, apartment robbed.
A private detective named Sachs found her, huh?
Uh-huh. And Mrs. Post's lawyer.
George Simon.
Right. They both arrived at the apartment about the same time. Both had appointments with the victim. They got worried when she didn't show up. Found the janitor, and he opened the apartment for them. They discovered her lying on the floor in the bedroom.
What was missing?
According to her husband, all her jewels, about $15,000 worth. Also a cloth coat.
My boss said you were considering the husband.
Yeah. 3 days ago, they had an argument and separated. The wife was filing for a divorce. She'd suspected Post playing around for some time, so she hired Sachs, a private detective. Sachs got the evidence, and she confronted her husband with it. He moved out and into a hotel. Sachs and the lawyer were supposed to meet her at 8 o'clock so that Sachs could turn over the evidence on her husband to the lawyer.
Well, what makes you think it's the husband?
Well, robbery looks phony. The jewels okay, but the coat, the cloth coat, the only item of clothing that was stolen.
Yeah?
There was a full-length mink and a stole left in the closet.
Oh, mm-hmm. The husband got an alibi?
Sure. The woman he was seeing. The one who busted up the marriage.
Oh, who is she?
Well, the name of Hughes. Jane Hughes. Lives at 109 West 61st Street.
And she claims Post was with her at the time of the murder?
The victim had been dead about 3 hours, killed around 5 in the afternoon. The Hughes woman swears Post was with her all afternoon from about 1 till late that evening.
How'd the killer get into the apartment?
That's another thing that makes me suspect the husband. No evidence that shows the killer broke in. No way he could get in a window. The apartment's on the 8th floor, and a fire escape's at the end of the hall.
Well, I'd like to talk to the people involved.
Oh, sure, Johnny. What do you want to start with?
The men who found the body.
Sachs and Simon.
I'll take Sachs first. Rosamond gave me the address of the private detective, and I drove over to 52nd Street where I located my man. Paul Sachs was small, with a sour look and a wet handshake.
What can I do for you, boy?
I'm investigating the Post murder.
Uh-huh. So, well. Insurance man, huh?
That's right.
She insured for much?
I forgot to ask.
Yeah, probably is. Old man's loaded, boy.
When did Mrs. Post retain you?
Oh, about a month ago. Well, the 5th, to be exact. Wasn't too hard. The old man was pretty open about it. He was careful, all right, stayed to the more discreet places, but he was... Well, you know how those fellas are. Last one to think someone's checking up, so they aren't as careful as they should be. Want a drink?
No, thanks.
I was lucky.
Lucky?
Yeah. Paid me up in full before the old man cut her up. Sure you don't want a little belt?
No, it's a little early.
Don't blame the old boy much, though.
How's that?
I mean, a little bit of fluff he was chasing around with. Mighty nice. Oh, yes, sir. Mighty nice. Yeah, I got a couple of pictures here. Cops have got duplicates. I keep these for the family album.
You think Post killed his wife?
Oh, yeah, sure. He certainly had the motive. Threw him out and was going to take him for everything. I've been in on things like this, boy. A man like me gets mixed up in all kinds of things. Murders like this, cut and dried. I tell you what, he made his mistake by taking that coat and leaving the mink. Stupid mistake. Real stupid, boy.
The police say she was killed around 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, she was cut up something awful.
Where were you at 5, Mr. Sachs?
Me?
Oh, nothing personal.
You're barking up the wrong private detective, boy. I didn't have no motive. I was right here in my office. Didn't finish work till around 6. I got other cases,
Can you prove you were in your office?
Can I prove? Well, boy, if I gotta prove it, I'll prove it. But there ain't no motive, boy. Why would I want to kill her, huh? You ain't thinking, boy. When you've been investigating as long as I have, you won't run around asking ridiculous questions like that.
Yeah, I should be ashamed of myself. Well, Mr. Sachs, it's been a real pleasure.
You gotta go, boy?
Yeah, I'm afraid so, but it's been charming.
Good. You need any help? Just give me a call.
Oh, I'll do that, boy. My next stop was the office of Mr. George Simon, attorney at law. The surroundings were a little different from Sachs's private pig pen. A big suite of offices with a big suite of secretaries. George Simon greeted me with a professional smile and offered me an overstuffed chair.
Yes, I arrived at Mrs. Post's around 5 minutes to 8. My appointment was at 8 sharp.
When did Sachs arrive?
He was already there, waiting in the hall. He said he'd just come up in the elevator, but that Mrs. Post had not answered his ring.
Lovely fellow.
You met him?
Yes, a few minutes ago.
Well, we waited in the hall, thinking that Mrs. Post was late and due to arrive at any minute. 10 or 15 minutes later, I got worried. I knew how important the meeting was, and I couldn't understand why she'd forget it. I had talked to her that afternoon.
What time?
That I talked to her? Oh, I'd say around 3.
She seemed all right?
Well, she wasn't particularly happy about the situation. They'd been married for 7 years.
But other than that, nothing else seemed to be bothering her?
If it was, she didn't mention it.
All right, you waited for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yes. Then I located the janitor and had him unlock the door. We found Mrs. Post in the bedroom. I called the police immediately.
Did Mr. Post know that you were meeting with his wife?
I have no way of knowing that.
Do you think he killed her?
No, I don't think he's the type to kill anyone.
Mrs. Post was certainly going to get a sizable settlement.
She was going to ask for one.
And Mr. Post knew that she was.
I believe she told him. She mentioned to me that she had.
How large a settlement?
We hadn't arrived at any figure. I was supposed to meet her and this private detective. I was supposed to look over the evidence, and then we were to discuss future plans.
Where were you at 5 o'clock, Mr. Simon?
Here in my office. I was here all day except for lunch.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your trouble.
Glad to help. But I don't think Mr. Post killed his wife.
Well, I can't disagree with you.
You don't think he did?
I can't agree with you either. You see, I just don't know yet. See you later, Mr. Simon. The next person on my list was Miss Jane Hughes, the reason for the marital rift between William Post and his wife. She lived on the 7th floor of an attractive apartment house on West 61st Street. And when she opened the door for me, I could understand how any man might stray a little if Jane Hughes smiled at him once too many times.
Hello.
Can I come in?
You might if I knew who you were, what you wanted.
The name is Johnny Dollar.
What do you want, Johnny?
Just a little talk.
Any special subject?
William Post.
Goodbye, Johnny.
And Mrs. William Post.
Didn't you hear me, Johnny?
I'm an insurance investigator.
Oh.
Lieutenant Roseman thought I should talk to you.
I thought you were a reporter.
Well, now can I come in?
Just put one foot in front of the other.
Well, thanks. I'll try it.
I didn't mean to be rude, but you understand about reporters.
Oh, you weren't rude.
Have a seat.
Thanks.
Why are you investigating me, John?
Oh, routine. That's all, routine.
I'm just going to tell you the same thing I told the police.
All right.
Bill, Mr. Post, was with me most of the afternoon.
How long have you known Mr. Post?
About 6 months. We're just good friends.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like that at all, Mr. Dollar. We're just good friends.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Mr. Post?
Would you mind going out the back way?
Well, I've got to talk to him sooner or later.
Make it later, huh?
Well, generally, I'm a gentleman, but...
But this time, you'll make an exception.
Might prove interesting.
All right. Why don't you answer it?
Sure. Mr. Post?
Who are you?
Johnny Dollar.
What are you doing here?
Bill,
Yes?
Mr. Dollar's an insurance man.
Insurance?
I'm with Columbia All Risk.
Oh, don't close the door.
He wants to talk to you.
At my office, Mr. Dollar. Goodbye.
That's the way you want it, Mr. Post?
Exactly. Now get out of here. You've got no business here.
Mr. Post.
Get out.
Friends, no matter what kind of work you do, it's a real help to chew delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum right while you're working. When you're warm or tired, for instance, the lively, full-bodied spearmint flavor is really refreshing. It helps keep your mouth and throat feeling cool and moist. Chewing on that smooth, good-tasting piece of Wrigley's Spearmint makes the time pass more pleasantly, too. It seems to make your work go smoother and easier. Keep a package or two of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy all the time. Enjoy chewing Wrigley's Spearmint while you're working and at other times. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
On the police list, William Post was the number one candidate for the killing of his wife. On my list, he was just a wealthy banker with a dead wife, a seductive girlfriend, and a nasty personality. I'd run into many a nasty personality in my travels, so I let the incident roll off my back and drove over to the Park Avenue apartment where Mrs. Post had been murdered. In the basement, I located the janitor, a bent little man who was working on the plumbing and singing a flat chorus of Dixie.
Look away. Look away. Look away, Dixieland. Oh, way down yonder.
Hey, Pop.
The old time
Pop.
is not far.
Pop.
Look away. Yeah.
Are you the janitor?
Uh-huh.
What's your name?
It's Pete.
You want to do me a favor, Pete?
Pete Kellett. Who are you?
My name is Johnny.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hooray! Hooray! When Johnny comes marching
Pete,
home again, hooray!
Pete.
Hooray!
Hey, Pete. Pete, I want you to do something for me.
I don't know you.
I'm an insurance investigator.
Yes?
You got a pass key to number 8? Well, have you?
Number 8?
Where the woman was murdered.
Oh, I'm busy. When Johnny comes marching home again.
Pete, oh, Pete. Hey, Pete. Pete, I want you to let me into number 8.
What for?
Because I'm investigating Mrs. Post's murder.
Can't.
It's all right. I'm working with the police.
Who'd you say you was?
My name is Dollar.
You said it was Johnny.
That goes in front. It's Johnny Dollar.
Oh, Johnny, oh, that's a funny name. When Johnny comes marching home again, Henry. There ain't nothing for you to see in number 8.
I just want to look over the place.
Why?
I just want to take a look around.
I don't want to go up there.
Well, then give me the key.
I can't.
I got $10 that says you can.
Make it 20 and I'll let you look over number 3. Folks are out of town for a couple of months.
I just want to get into number 8.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. You opened the door last night for Mr. Sachs and Mr. Simon, didn't you?
Who?
How long have you worked here?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I worked here, let me see now. Oh, my. I just worked here, for just a long time, I guess. That's all.
You knew Mrs. Post?
Yes, anyway.
Have you ever seen Mr. Sachs or Mr. Simon before last night?
Who?
The men you let into Mrs. Post's apartment.
I saw him last night. I never saw him before. Not even once I never saw... Oh, I didn't like that one of them. Oh, that one with that squinted face. He squinted it all up and he had those dirty teeth.
Sachs.
Who?
The one that squinted his face all up.
Oh, I didn't like him.
Well, thanks, Pete.
I didn't like Mrs. Post either.
Why not?
I just didn't like her. Sweet, sweet chariot, coming to carry me home.
I let myself into number 8 and took a good look over the whole place. There was still blood on the bedroom floor, but everything else had been cleaned up, and there was nothing that gave me any ideas. The mink coat and stole were still in the closet. I went back downstairs to give Pete his keys, but the funny little man wasn't around. I left the keys on a bench near the furnace, went back out to my car, and drove to the hotel. I showered, shaved, wrote the first half of this report, and then started to go downstairs to have dinner. Johnny Dollar.
Roseman, Johnny. You got something interesting on the post case.
Oh, good.
Somebody pawned that cloth coat late this afternoon.
You know who it was?
No, I'm just on my way down to the pawn shop to get a description from the pawnbroker. You want to meet me?
Where is it?
945 East 185th Street.
I'll see you there. I climbed back into my car and drove uptown to the pawn shop. Lieutenant Roseman was already there, talking to the pawnbroker. And the answers he was getting were very interesting.
You remember the man who pawned the coat?
Oh, yes, he was a kind of small, funny-looking fella. He didn't say much, just handed me the coat and took what I gave him. You know, I remember the circular, what you sent. Seems strange, a man like that having such a nice coat. I thought right away that was stolen.
The man was small?
Yeah, kind of stooped over.
Anything else?
No. Oh, yeah. He had a habit of singing to himself all the time, under his breath.
The first good lead. Rosamond and I drove back to Mrs. Post's apartment and went down in the basement, where we found Pete Kellett asleep on an old cot. Hey, Pete. Pete. Come on, wake up.
What do you want?
You remember me?
Should I?
I was down here this afternoon.
I guess I do.
You remember Lieutenant Roseman?
Was he with you?
Come on, Pete. We're going down to the station.
Now?
Yeah.
You pawned a coat late this afternoon.
Huh?
A cloth coat. The one that was stolen from number 8. You pawned it.
I don't know nothing about no coat.
Let's go, Pete.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay, but I ain't had much sleep. That plumbing, it keeps a man awake all night. Just let me get my shoes. I got shoes and you got shoes. Oh, God's children got shoes.
We took Pete Keller down to the precinct and questioned him for half an hour. But he refused to admit that he'd ever pawned the coat or that he knew anything about it. The pawnbroker was sent for, and we all went down to the lineup for an identification. Pete Kellett was in the first line. Third man.
Number 3, murder. Number 3, step out. Number 3, you. You're number 3, aren't you?
Well, if you'd like me to be.
Then step out.
Oh, sure. Is this okay?
Just answer the questions.
You mind if I sit down?
Just stand right there and face the front, hands at your sides.
Oh, I'm awful tired. Plumbing keeps me awake all night.
What's your name?
Huh?
I said, what's your name?
Lieutenant.
Oh, it's Pete.
That's
Where you
the man.
from?
Pete
He is
Kellett?
the
Where
one
you
that
from?
pawned the coat.
Oh, what do you mean?
You sure?
I mean, where's your place of
positively.
residence?
Oh.
Sergeant Hanley,
Yes, Lieutenant.
number 3, hold for interrogation.
Okay, you step back in line.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I thought you wanted to hear where I was
Step
from.
back.
My goodness.
We had a positive identification. The pawnbroker had pointed out Pete Kellett as the man who'd pawned the coat. We took the little janitor down to the interrogation room and worked on him for 5 long hours. But he didn't crack.
Pete, why don't you save us all a lot of trouble and admit it?
What?
Bet you killed Mrs. Post.
Oh, why should I admit that? You want me to tell the truth, don't you?
Oh. Pete,
Yes.
you did pawn the coat, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you get it?
From Mrs. Post.
And you stabbed her.
No.
Then how did you get it?
Well, she'd give it to me.
You expect us to believe
Why,
that?
sure.
Why didn't you tell us this in the first place?
Well, I thought if you knew, you'd think just what you're thinking.
She gave you the coat.
Yes.
When?
Well, a couple of days ago.
You told me you didn't like her.
I didn't.
She gave you a nice coat like that, but you didn't like her?
No.
Then why did you take it?
Why not?
Now, look, you...
Lieutenant.
Yeah?
Come here a minute, will you?
Can I go?
You move a muscle and I'll bust you. Oh. I tell you, Johnny.
Yeah, I know. But after all,
He's nuts.
There's a more polite term for it.
He's nuts and he's guilty.
You want to find out if he is?
I know.
I mean guilty. Find out and eliminate all this questioning?
How?
He's scared of that room. He wouldn't take me up to number 8, although he gave me the key. I think we can scare him into a confession.
I'll try anything.
Of course, there's a chance he's telling the truth.
If he is, I'll eat your shoulder holster.
Well, turn him loose. Send him back to his job.
Well, what's that going to do?
You just hang around and watch. Roseman agreed to continue questioning Kellett for another half hour while I got things ready, then release him and take him back to the Park Avenue apartment. I left the precinct and drove to Jane Hughes' residence on West 61st Street.
Oh, You'd better leave.
Look, this is very important.
Who is it?
It's me, and I'm coming in.
Now, Dollar, you listen to me.
No, you listen. I don't like you, Mr. Post, but I've got a chance to clear up this mess and get back to Hartford, so I'll be far enough away to keep from belting you in the teeth. Now, we think we know who killed your wife.
Well, who is it?
The janitor of the building.
Holt Kellett?
That's right, but we've got to prove it. I'll need your permission and Miss Hughes' help.
I can't let Miss Hughes get involved in anything that might in any way...
Okay. I'll see you later.
Wait a minute, Johnny. What do you want me to do?
Jane.
It's all right. It's important to me. This hasn't been the most pleasant situation, Johnny, but regardless of what anyone thinks, I'm going to marry Bill. We're in love.
I'll send you a box of rice if this works.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to be Mrs. Post. The dead Mrs. Post.
What?
Let him finish.
I want you to go up in that apartment, dress like Mrs. Post, and call Kellett, the janitor. Tell him there's something wrong with the plumbing. Play it straight, as though nothing had ever happened.
Are you out of your mind? You think...
The police will be there.
No.
Let's go, Johnny.
I drove Jane Hughes to the apartment where Rosamond was waiting. She got dressed in one of Mrs. Post's nightgowns and a robe, then buzzed the basement.
Well, what about my voice?
Just keep it low.
Hello. Hello?
Pete,
Who is this?
Mrs. Post.
What?
There's something the matter with the plumbing. Will you come up and fix it? Pete, did you hear me?
Yes.
Will you come right up?
Yes.
Here he comes.
Come in, Pete. What's the matter?
You're dead.
No, I'm not. Come in.
Didn't I kill you?
No, I'm all right.
No, something's wrong. No, you're dead.
Stop being silly. Come in here.
Well, if you ain't dead, if I didn't kill you the first time, I better do it now.
Don't move, Pete.
Snap on the lights, Miss Hughes.
Put down that knife, Pete.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
Why, you ain't Mrs. Post.
No.
Well, then she is dead. I did kill her.
That's right, Pete.
Oh, I feel better.
Pete had the jewels hidden in a bucket of paint in the basement. He finally explained that he was in the process of robbing Mrs. Post when she came home, surprised him, and he had to kill her. He didn't take the minx because he thought the cloth coat was prettier. I drove Jane Hughes back to her apartment, where a grateful William Post was waiting with open arms. And that was that. Expense account item 2, $15.85 for a late dinner for Lieutenant Roseman and me, after which I retired to my hotel bed and slept for about 10 hours. Expense account items 3 and 4, $35.75, hotel bill and car rental. Item 5, $16.55, train fare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total, $87.05. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Remember, friends, for refreshing taste plus chewing enjoyment, treat yourself to delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. The taste of fresh spearmint is cooling and delightful, and there's lots of it in every stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. It freshens your mouth, helps keep your throat moist, and sweetens your breath besides. You'll enjoy the good chewing, too, because Wrigley's Spearmint is so smooth and pleasant to chew on. There's nothing else quite like it. Next time you're at the store, stop at your friendly merchant's display of chewing gum and get a few packages of good-tasting Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. Always keep some handy for refreshing taste plus chewing enjoyment. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Blake Edwards with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Jack Moyles, William Johnstone, Benny Rubin, Charles Davis, Mary Jane Croft, Hy Everback, and Howard McNear. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum hope you enjoyed tonight's story of Johnny Dollar and that you're enjoying delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day. This is Charles Lyon, inviting you to join us again next week at the same time when from Hollywood, John Lund returns as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as...
Johnny Dollar.
Philip Martin, Johnny. Got your passport ready?
Where to now?
French Riviera, town called Cassis. Just got a death claim from there on a policyholder by the name of Arnold Bernier.
Something wrong with the claim?
Policy's for $75,000. It was written 33 years ago.
Well, so what? Don't you ever expect your policyholders to die?
With fishing spears driven through their backs?
I'll be ready in an hour.
Hi, fellas. Care to join me in a quick look at the past? Okay, here goes. Back around 1890, Charles Dudley Warner, who was editor of the Hartford Courant, wrote in an editorial, "Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it." Well, maybe no one did in 1890, but someone definitely has since then. Our United States weatherman. He's quite a busy gentleman who works for the Department of Commerce. His job is to read thermometers, barometers, anemometers, and other assorted meters which forecast weather conditions so the rest of us will know what to plan or what not to plan, like hanging out the wash or going to a baseball game. Information about weather conditions is also given to aircraft pilots and ship captains so they can plan their flights or cruises accordingly. Of course, they need more than just weather data, and the Commerce Department gives them what they need. For the pilots, the department issues aviation charts and maps and sees to it that air markers are laid out so that the pilots can find their way easily and safely. For the ship captains, the Commerce Department issues nautical charts and tide tables to indicate when and where it will be safe to navigate their ships. The department also inspects the ships to see that they're in perfect operating condition and issues licenses for the operating of the ships. So the next time you look up at the sky and wonder what kind of a day it's going to be, the thought might also cross your mind that many lives and valuable cargo carried by American planes and ships are depending on the United States weatherman who is also looking at the sky.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Washingtonian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the harpooned angler matter. Expense account item 1, $473.25. Airfare, railroad transportation, and incidentals between Hartford and Cassis, France. Expense account item 2, $50 rental of a snappy 1937 Maybach Victoria. After an invigorating journey from the rental agency, marred only by an engine breakdown and a blowout, I arrived at the office of the man who'd sent in the death claim on behalf of Arnold Bernier's widow.
Welcome, my darling Mr. Dollar. Welcome to Cassis.
Well, thank you. Are you Count Andescu?
But of course, dear man. Count Laszlo Andescu at your service. You are here concerning poor dear departed Arnold Bernier.
Yes, that's
right. What a ghastly thing to happen. So unfortunate, so sad. Oh, here one moment and the next, poof. But why should we dwell upon unhappy things? You will give me the insurance check for $75,000 made payable to Magda Bernier. I will give you the receipt, and poof, we will have disposed of everything.
No, not quite. Just what is your position in this picture, Count?
Perfectly simple, darling Dollar. Count Lajlandescu renders his most capable services to those who require assistance in delicate matters, financial and otherwise, for a slight consideration, of course. You might call me chargé d'affaires for the bereaved and the unfortunate.
I see.
Yes.
Now, what is this business about a fishing spear?
Oh, yes. So inconsiderate of dear Arnold to come to his end in so sordid a manner. A fishing spear. Ugh. So indelicate of poor Arnold.
Well, at least it's unusual. You mind telling me how it happened?
I thought you knew, my darling Dollar. Dear Arnold was engaged in what has so unfortunately become le sport of the Riviera.
What's that?
Oh, an insanity, my dear man. An incredible insanity which leads one to penetrate the very depths of the ocean, clad only in swimming trunks and a cumbersome, unbecoming helmet of some kind.
Oh, you talking about skin diving?
Well, whatever term one chooses to call it, it is a most incredible, ungentlemanly sport.
Okay, Arnold Bernier was skin diving. Then what?
But, my darling Dollar, it was all so sordid, but so simple. When he had been underwater for over an hour, somebody found him. He was brought up to the surface, and there he was, dead.
With a fishing spear in his back.
Precisely. Now, so, poof, we have disposed of the matter of dear Arnold's passing.
Not if his beneficiary was responsible for having planted that spear.
Oh, my dear Dollar, what a ghastly thing to say. Such a dear, sweet, lovable creature as Magda Bernier couldn't possibly have been so indiscreet as to have done such a thing.
No, why not?
Well, this simply could not be. Would you think what would happen then to my remuneration for handling this affair?
Yeah.
Poof.
I left the good Count and drove down to the Bernier villa to pay my respects to the widow. Her establishment was located on a bluff overlooking the Gulf de Leon. The scenery was magnificent.
You are looking for me, Monsieur Dollar?
If you're Mrs. Arnold Bernier.
I am. Sit down, please.
Thanks.
A beautiful day, is it not, monsieur? The sun so warm, the soft breeze so gentle and caressing to the skin.
You're a sun worshiper, Mrs. Bernier?
I worship all the things that are most worthwhile in life.
Oh?
Beautiful homes, luxurious furs, the delicate weight of perfectly matched pearls.
You have expensive taste.
Why should I not have?
No reason, if you can afford them.
It only requires money, Monsieur Dollar.
Most people can't dismiss the word so easily.
Most people are not Magda Bernier. And Arnold was an excellent provider.
I was wondering when you were going to come around to him.
You think I should have mentioned my dead husband sooner?
Sounds reasonable.
But why?
Well, you knew who I was when I arrived. That means Zandescu must have phoned you, so you know why I'm here.
That is quite true.
And you still don't think the subject should have come up sooner?
Why should it? It is of no importance to me.
What isn't? Your husband's death or my investigation of
Both?
it? Your husband was murdered, Mrs. Bernier. Aren't you interested in determining who did it?
It would not give Arnold back his life.
No, but it could affect yours if you were involved in it in some way.
You rather fantastic conception, Monsieur Dollar. If you must pursue this pointless investigation, I suggest you obtain all your future information from the agent de police Inspector Lanier.
Well, there's one thing I don't think he can tell me.
No? What is that?
How you really felt about your husband. Inspector Lanier proved to be a welcome relief from both Count Laszlo Andescu and the lovely, cold-blooded Magda Bernier. But he wasn't a great deal more enlightening.
Yes, Mr. Dollar. Skin diving was a favorite pastime of Monsieur Bernier. He would often indulge in it hours at a time.
He used some kind of aqua lung equipment, Inspector?
A helmet and face mask equipped with compressed air. It enabled him to stay down underwater for approximately an hour at a time. Only this time he did not come up.
Mm-hmm. Who discovered the body?
Monsieur David North.
Who is he?
A young American scientist who is conducting underwater explorations along the Cassis coast. He has a small ship, the Diana, from which he operates, collecting marine specimens.
Uh-huh.
He had reached a depth of some 100 feet and was about to return to the surface when he noticed a small grotto in one side of the bluff. Lying just inside the entrance was the body of Monsieur Bernier.
With a fishing spear through him, huh?
Precisely. So, sometime between 10:30 and noon, someone met Bernier underwater and killed him.
Any idea who it could have been?
At this time of year, the cove is filled with underwater swimmers, indulging in this latest craze of the Riviera.
Yeah. And what about the spear itself?
An ordinary fishing spear discharged from a compressed air tube. Its counterpart may be found in hundreds of hands.
Any personal suspects on your list?
I'm afraid not.
What about Magda Bernier?
Certainly there was no financial motivation.
There's a $75,000 insurance policy.
I assure you, that means nothing. Bernier was an immensely wealthy man.
Well, what about business associates?
He had been retired for 20 years. An attorney by the name of Armand Gauthier in Marseille handles his affairs. We have checks. They're in perfect order.
Any personal enemies?
So far as we have been able to ascertain, none.
Well, he obviously had one. Well, thanks for your time, Inspector.
But, I regret only that I could not have been of more immediate assistance, but if there is anything you wish to... Pardon.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Inspector Laniel. Oui, one moment, please. It is for you, Monsieur Dollar.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
You Johnny Dollar, the insurance man?
That's right. Who's this?
My name's David North. I'd like to talk to you.
What about?
The murder of Arnold Bernier.
What do you know about it?
Well, let's save that for our talk.
Okay. Where do we get together?
There's a cafe in town, the Golden Pheasant. I'll meet you there.
How soon?
Oh, about a half hour.
Who told you I'd be here? Andescu or Magda Bernier?
Magda?
Why should she have called you about that?
Well, who else did you expect her to call, Dollar? We're going to be married, aren't we?
There were some half-dozen sailors and roustabouts seated around the Golden Pheasant, but no sign of anyone who might be an American marine scientist by the name of David North. So I took over one of the tables, ordered a cognac to help pass the time, and waited. More than an hour had passed, and North still hadn't turned up. I was about to call it quits when the place was enlivened by a new arrival.
Ah, Dollar! A magnificent coincidence which just... Oh, Antoine? A vermouth cassis. At once, s'il vous plaît. Yes, as I was saying, a simply magnificent coincidence. You do not mind, my darling Dollar, if I join you?
You already have.
So I have, yes. Which makes it all the more charming, does it not? Now so, you are here? I am here. We may now conclude our affair of business.
You're talking about that insurance check?
A trifling matter, I will confess, and somewhat boring. Nevertheless, it does concern money, and I dearly love money. It has so many uses, you know.
What about the little matter of finding out who murdered Arnold Bernier?
Oh, that! Whew, it is of no consequence now, which is why I have sought you out here.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, you presented a problem to me. And what does the magnificent Count Landescu do when he is faced with a problem? He solves it. Whew.
You know who killed him?
But of course. Who else could it be but that American David North? So, now you will give me the check.
What makes you think it's North?
It is so obvious, my darling Dollar. North has supplied the proof himself by his suicide.
Suicide?
Oh, did I forget to inform you how careless of me? But yes, they are fetching his body up from the bottom of the Gulf even now.
When I got to the beach, about a dozen people were gathered around watching a rowboat heading toward the shore. There were 3 men aboard, dressed in swimming trunks, one of whom I recognized as Inspector Laniel.
Take him to Dr. Geret at once. Here's my car. It's parked at the end of the beach. Now, quickly now. There is no time to lose.
What happened, Inspector?
Oh, apparently, Monsieur North decided not to keep his appointment with you. Instead, he went skin diving, and in approximately the same spot off the point where Arnold Bernier was found.
Any idea why?
None. When he had been down approximately 50 minutes, the members of his crew aboard the Diana became concerned. Two of them went diving for him.
Where did they find him?
In the same little underwater grotto where Arnold Bernier was found. As you saw, he was unconscious. Fortunately, his aqua lung was still working, and so he had not drowned. But there was a bad scalp wound in his head. And this was lying on the grotto floor beside him.
Another fishing spear.
Oui. Obviously, he was attacked in the same manner as Bernier had been.
Any chance that the wound was self-inflicted?
None. And in a way, that is most unfortunate.
Why is that?
If it had been attempted suicide, the case might have been closed. I had just uncovered evidence which could have convinced me that David North had murdered Arnold Bernier.
You know, many great men have attained the highest office in our land, the presidency of the United States. Can you guess the name of this man? In 1770, as one of the leading lawyers in Massachusetts, he defended the British soldiers who fired on civilians during the so-called Boston Massacre. His 4 years as president were perhaps the stormiest in our history, as he fought to keep America out of a war with France. But an official war against France brought George Washington out of retirement as commander of the army and gave birth to the phrase, "Millions for defense, but not 1 cent for tribute." If you don't have his name by now, here are 2 more clues. During his presidency, Washington became the national capital, and the 11th Amendment was adopted. Who was he? John Adams, 2nd President of the United States. His life is part of your American heritage.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
We went back to Inspector Lanyell's office. And while we waited for David North to regain consciousness, Lanyell told me about the new evidence.
It was revealed in a court order, Monsieur Dollar. David North's ship was being attached for non-payment of a debt he owed to Arnold Bernier.
What debt was that?
North had run out of funds in the port of Darien on the Red Sea, where he had been collecting specimens. And Destiu ran into him there, saw an opportunity to make a commission for himself, and persuaded Arnold Bernier to lend North the funds.
How much was involved?
Some $2,000.
That's hardly enough for a man like Bernier to get so excited about.
True. But if you compound the money with North's coming here and then becoming friendly with the lovely Magda...
Oh, you figured a two-way motive then. By murdering Bernier, North saves his ship and gets the girl.
Is it not logical, Monsieur Dollar?
Well, it was before that little accident happened to North.
Oui, but there is no need for us to concern ourselves with idle conjecture. When North recovers consciousness, he can himself inform us.
Well, it might pay to conjecture about one thing meanwhile, Inspector.
What is that, Monsieur?
The whereabouts of Magda Bernier during the past couple of hours.
I had thought we had seen the last of each other, Monsieur Dollar.
Well, it seems that you forgot a couple of pertinent things, including David North.
Why should I have discussed him?
Well, how indifferent can you be about the man you're going to marry?
Did he tell you that?
He did.
David is like a little child who tries to convince himself that the world of his dreams is the true world.
And it's not?
No. David worships me. There is nothing he would not do for me in return for a kind word or a hint of a smile.
Like committing murder?
Yes, I think he would even do that.
And did he?
I do not have the faintest idea.
Then there's nothing to his statement about marriage between you?
Nothing, Monsieur Dollar.
Do you mind telling me where you've been the past couple of hours?
Right here in front of this fire, Monsieur. Why?
You haven't been swimming?
I seldom swim, Monsieur Dollar.
It was was getting dark when I left the villa. I thought I'd better find out if North was well enough to tell his side of the story before I closed up shop for the night. Inspector Lanyard was just leaving Dr. Giret's office as I drove up.
Is that you, Monsieur Dollar?
Yeah, that's right, Inspector. Well, did you learn anything from David North?
No, Monsieur, and we never will. He just died.
Well, after that little announcement, there didn't seem to be much reason for me to hang around the town of Cassis that night. So I started out along the coast road toward Marseille. A little way out of town, a gleaming black chauffeur-driven limousine swept by me. It was just time for me to catch a glimpse of a blonde head lolling back luxuriously against the rear seat cushions. Then it turned a bend in the road ahead and was gone. There were several intriguing possibilities as to why Magda Bernier would leave her fire and head for Marseille. I proceeded toward my destination in Marseille, the residence of one Armand Gauthier, attorney, the man who'd been in charge of Arnold Bernier's affairs.
Oui?
My name is Dollar, Mr. Gauthier. Insurance investigator. I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes.
I am not in the habit of conducting business at my home, Monsieur Dollar. If you care to call my office in the morning, I am certain an appointment can be arranged.
Magda Bernier might be happier if we talk right now.
I do not comprehend your reference, monsieur.
Well, would it help any if I told you that she was number one on the list of suspects in the murders of her husband and David North?
Come in, please.
Thanks.
This way, please. You realize, of course, Monsieur Dollar, that to suspect Madame Bernier of such crimes is sheer nonsense. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Well, if you want a list of possible motives, we could start with, money?
Oh, ridiculous. Magda stood to gain nothing by the death of Arnold Bernier.
No, why not?
At the time of their marriage, he gave her a tremendous independent fortune. One that even a Magda Bernier could not dissipate in a lifetime. And the balance of his estate is willed to charitable institutions.
Okay, then what about boredom? Hatred?
You have met Madame Bernier? Spoken with her?
Yes.
Then you must realize that a thoroughly hedonistic woman like Magda can never become bored so long as she can surfeit herself with the luxuries of life.
Well, there's still one other possibility. Bernier was some 30 years older than Magda. And David North was a pretty rugged specimen of a young male animal.
He was also stupid. A callow youth, one who might be temporarily amusing to a woman like Magda, yes. But one does not risk giving up a way of life, monsieur, for the sake of temporary amusement.
How true. Well, thanks for your time.
I have convinced you, then?
Well, let's say that I found out what I came here to learn.
Huh? And what is that?
The possibility of another man in Magda's life.
But we have disposed of that, monsieur.
You should have disposed of Magda's perfume, too.
What?
I couldn't miss it when I walked in here. And after your kind cooperation and character analysis, I couldn't be rude enough to accuse you of wearing it.
I do not understand, Monsieur Dollar. Agreed that the desire for money makes an excellent motive for murder. But what is the connection between that and Arnold Bernier's hobby of skin diving?
Inspector, send a diver down to take a closer look at that undersea grotto where he and North were killed, and I think you'll come up with the answer.
Very well, Dollar. I will have it done first thing in the morning.
No, better do it right now.
This should do it nicely, Dollar.
Uh-huh. You sure you want to make the dive yourself?
But why not? I fancy myself rather efficient at the art, and if what you suspect is true, it might be best to keep it between the two of us.
Okay. Is this the lantern you want to use?
Oui. Now, if you will help me with the helmet and the aqua lung.
Oh, sure. Here. There. How's that?
Oh, I'll see. That'll be fine.
I'll take your word for it. Laniel adjusted the rubber flippers on his feet, shrugged the helmet and aqua lung more comfortably on his back and shoulders, and then slipped over the side. "45 minutes is a long time to wait in an open boat at night when you know a man is swimming far below the surface in a spot where 2 other men had met death before him. And I knew it must seem even longer to Inspector Laniel. But finally, he came to the surface. He held on to the gunwale of the boat with one hand and gave me a small wooden box with the other. A watertight wooden box marked marine specimens. I gave him a hand and pulled him into the boat. Then, as he started to take off the helmet, I turned to the box and opened it. The marine specimens consisted of some insignificant-looking brownish weeds. I didn't have a chance to examine them more closely. It was just about then that I turned my head and noticed that the spear gun was pointing at my back.
How charming that we should meet again under such delightful circumstances. Is it not, my darling Dollar?
Where's Laniel?
For the 3rd time, it was necessary for me to leave someone below at the entrance to the grotto. You have no idea how boring this procedure is becoming.
A fishing spear again?
Oh, my darling Dollar, how unimaginative do you believe me to be? Particularly after I only succeeded in wounding dear Mr. North. No. The dear inspector is lying unconscious from a blow to the head. Soon his oxygen will run out, and then, poof. This spear I save for you, here, where I cannot possibly miss.
Oh, please, don't bother.
You know, you are magnificent, my darling Dollar, incomparable. I had not thought it possible for you to connect me with this affair in so short a time.
Yeah, your little drug smuggling act has run into a few obstacles.
What a pity. Such a magnificent plan. Obtaining the hashish for practically nothing in the Red Sea area with Arnold Bernier's money, transporting it here aboard David's ship, concealing it in the grotto to take it ashore when the time was ripe. A magnificent plan.
Only Bernier put a crimp in it.
Yes, and that was indeed a pity. Poor dear Arnold. But he came upon my underwater warehouse.
No remorse about David North.
How sentimental can one be, my darling Dollar?
I suppose North was diving for one of those boxes to bring me the proof when you take it. Things happened pretty fast just about then. The box hit Andescu in the chest. The spear missed me by slightly less than a hair. My fist hit Andescu's jaw, and he hit the water. Oh, a jolly good time was had by all, including Inspector Laniel. I managed to raise some help from the shore and get a diver down to him before his oxygen ran out. Andescu wound up in the local jail where charges are being preferred against him now. 2 counts of homicide, 2 of attempted homicide, and a slight case of drug smuggling. I didn't see Magda Bernier again. I didn't think I could take any more of that. When you honor the death claim, send the check care of Armand Gauthier, Marseille. Expense account item 3, $27.65, hotel bill and miscellaneous. Item 4, $493, plane fare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total $1,043.90. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Sidney Marshall with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Howard Culver, Larry Dobkin, Virginia Gregg, Edgar Barrier, and Lou Krugman. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, the refreshing, delicious treat that gives you chewing enjoyment, presents for your listening enjoyment John Lund as Johnny Dollar.
Tom Benson, Johnny. Feel like traveling?
Not particularly. Why?
About 6 months ago, we wrote 2 policies. A man and his wife, Harrison and Maida Langley. Double indemnity. $125,000 each.
You got a death claim already?
No, but we're liable to. Got a letter from the underwriter. Says Langley claims somebody's trying to murder both him and his wife.
Where do I go?
Sundown Rubber Plantation, Kuala Lumpur, Federated States of Malaya.
Well, I should have my passport around here somewhere. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum bring you John Lund and another adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Friends, the makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum present these weekly adventures of Johnny Dollar because they know that millions of you enjoy Johnny Dollar. That's true of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, too. It's enjoyed by millions, day in and day out. People find that chewing on a smooth, delicious piece of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum somehow makes time pass more pleasantly. Whether you're working, driving, shopping, or just taking things easy, that good, tasty chewing gives you enjoyment and satisfaction. So always keep a package of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy. And whenever you want a refreshing, delicious treat, chew a stick. You'll like it. You really will. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Washingtonian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the terrified Tuan matter. Expense account item 1, $1,043.50. Airfare and incidentals between Hartford and Kuala Lumpur. I checked into the Coliseum Hotel and then walked over to Batu Road and the offices of George Allister, the rubber and tin broker who doubles in brass as your Malayan representative.
Oh, filthy climate, Dollar, filthy. No man in full possession of his God-given senses would ever live out here. I don't understand why you came.
Well, you wrote about the possible forthcoming murder of some policyholders, Allister.
Oh, yes, the Harrison Langley business. Utter rot, this talk about murder. Dismal obsession of disordered mentality. I wrote that letter only in the line of duty.
You don't think there's anything to it?
Oh, beastly nonsense. Jungle's breaking Langley down. He's a weakling to start with, no moral fiber. Turn that fan up a bit, huh? Yes, fellas disintegrating under the strain of trying to run that rubber plantation.
Then there haven't been any attempts to kill Langley or his wife?
No, sheer delusion. Concept of a diseased mind. Checked with the police. No reports made. No, Jungle's got him. That and the filthy terrorists.
His plantation's in terrorist country?
Sundown some 45 miles north of here. Everything north of Kuala's in terrorist domain. Filthy blighters. Ambushing traffic. Attacking villages, plantations. Murdering, burning, slashing rubber trees. No man's in his right mind would live in this filthy country.
Yeah. How do I get out there?
I hire an armored car. Only way to travel through the jungle. Take your own chances, though. Might be blown up by landmines. I won't take any responsibility.
I'm not asking you to.
You make your investigation if you have to, Dollar. Won't get you anywhere. Utter waste of time. Then go back home to the States, out of this filthy climate, beastly country.
Uh-huh. If you hate this country so much, Allister, why do you stick around?
Good question. Asked myself that many times. Always came up with the same answer.
What's that?
Making too much money.
Well, that sounds reasonable. Expense account item 2, $120. Rental of a 1949 Ford, completely equipped with armor plating and bulletproof glass. The jungle trip was hot, but fairly uneventful, and only the barbed wire enclosure and the armed Malayan guards at the entrance to the sundown plantation gave evidence that this was anything but a quiet, peaceful land.
Good afternoon, Tuan. May I have your identification, please?
Yeah, sure. Here it is.
Tuan Dala. You are here to speak with Tuan Langley?
That's the general idea, yeah.
I think perhaps it would be wise for you to speak with Tuan Crawford first.
Crawford? Who's he?
He is the plantation overseer, Tuan.
Why should I talk to him instead of Langley?
Tuan Langley is not well at the moment. He is still suffering from the shock.
What shock is that?
His wife, Tuan. She has disappeared.
Well, in that case, if you don't mind, I think I'll see Mr. Langley. Through the screen door, I could see part of the interior of Langley's house. There wasn't a sign of anyone around, but it looked cool and inviting in there. Too good a bet to pass up.
You take one more step into this house and I'll kill you.
Wow. Thanks for the warning.
I mean it. Every word of it. You're not going to murder me the way you did Maida. No, not a bit of it. You didn't expect me to be waiting here ready for you when you came sneaking in, did you? No, I'll bet you didn't.
You win on all counts, Langley. Now, suppose you put that thing down and let's start talking sense.
Not a move, I said. I know your kind. Sneaky, tricky. Try to get me off balance.
Look, my name's Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator. Washingtonian Life sent me out.
You're lying. George Alistair told me they wouldn't do anything about it. Wouldn't send a man halfway around the world to help me. He was right.
I've got my identification here to prove it.
You have identification?
How do you think I got past those guards at the gate? Here. Take a look for yourself.
What are you...
Thanks. 38 caliber Webley, isn't it?
All right, go ahead. Use it.
I think I'd rather have a drink first.
Over there, the liquor cabinet.
Thanks. You might take a good look at those papers while I'm mixing one.
But these papers say you're Johnny Dollar, an insurance investigator working for... Why, I'm sorry, Dollar. Dreadfully sorry. Please accept my apologies.
Forget it. Now, suppose you tell me what this is all about.
Oh, it's been a nightmare, Dollar. Constant threats against my life. Terrorist raids. Living in fear 24 hours a day. Sleeping with a gun at my side. Seeing this plantation ruined before my very eyes. And helpless to stop it. It's no wonder I'm not responsible for my actions.
Langley, it's not your plantation I'm interested in right now. It's your wife.
Maida?
Well, she's disappeared, hasn't she?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course she has. But, good Lord, man, what do you think's got me all upset this way?
I was beginning to wonder. Well, let's start with your wife and go on from there. What makes you think that she's been murdered?
What's the trouble here, Mr. Langley? Trouble? One of the yard men told me you heard a shot fired.
There was, accidentally.
Guns don't go off around here without a reason, mister.
There's nothing to get excited about, Crawford. Mr. Dollar's an insurance investigator.
Insurance investigator? So the vultures are gathering for the feast before the body's even cold.
That's enough, Crawford. Nobody's asking you for your opinion.
I don't need to be asked about something like this. If Mrs. Langley was my wife, I wouldn't be wasting my time talking to insurance men.
Then let me remind you that Mrs. Langley is not your wife. Even though I'm certain that two of you wish she were.
Why, you dirty little...
Okay, Crawford, hold it. If you've got anything to say, suppose you tell it to me.
Yes, that's a good idea, Crawford. Instead of my saying anything, why don't you tell Mr. Dollar all you know about the disappearance of my wife? That might help clarify things in a hurry.
Okay. I'll be outside in the Jeep, Mr. Dollar. I'll take you on a personally conducted tour. That way you'll be sure of getting the truth you want.
Well, there's part of your answer.
Yeah? How's that?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Crawford's in love with my wife. They've been carrying on behind my back for months. If anyone has a motive for trying to kill me, it's Crawford.
Yeah, or it could be the other way around.
That's been going on for 3-4 months now, Mr. Dollar. This crazy idea Mr. Langley has that somebody's trying to murder him and his wife.
What makes you think somebody isn't?
Hey, he says he gets threatening notes and telephone calls. Only nobody else has ever seen them or heard him talking to anyone.
Uh-huh. Now, what about Mrs. Langley?
Oh, he was driving her nuts. Walking around afraid of his shadow. Carrying a gun every place he went. Spying on her and me. Trying to find out if something was going on between us.
Was there?
If you knew Mrs. Langley, you wouldn't even think of asking that question.
But I don't. And I'm still trying to find out what happened to her.
Well, I'll show you. There, you see where the barbed wire's been cut? Those young rubber saplings have been slashed?
A terrorist raid?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, what's this got to do with Mrs. Langley?
The guard who met you at the gate, Bandar. He found the fence and trees that way, making his rounds this morning. He also found a sleeve torn from one of Mrs. Langley's blouses. It was covered with blood. And no one has seen Mrs. Langley since last night.
You figure the terrorist took her with him?
I think Mr. Langley staged the whole thing to make it look like that.
Yeah? Why?
He's in debt. The 50,000-pound note on the plantation's coming due in 60 days. His wife's insurance would cover that nicely.
Well, it's an interesting theory. Let's go back, huh? Where's Mr. Langley, Bandar?
He has left for Kuala Lumpur, sir, some 10 minutes ago.
Why? Did he say?
Oh, no, sir. I only know that Tuan Langley received a telephone call, and then he left.
Did he leave any message for me?
I do not know if it was a message, sir, but he made some strange comment concerning yourself.
Oh? What was it?
He was rather excited. I did not get all the words, but it was something about giving you something to really investigate.
And that was all?
Yes, sir, that was all. Then he took a .45 caliber automatic from the gun rack and left.
Where's the phone, Bandar?
Yes, that's right, Dollar. I did speak with Langley a few minutes ago. Nothing important. Just a routine business question about a shipment of rubber.
You're sure that's all it was, Alistair?
Well, of course, ma'am. What's the matter, Dollar? Is filthy heat getting you down, too?
Did either of you say anything about Mrs. Langley?
Maida? Yes, she was mentioned casually.
Casually? And he didn't tell you that she's disappeared, possibly been murdered?
You being serious, Dollar?
Did he tell you anything about it?
No, not a word. Matter of fact, I was the only one who mentioned Maida. Perfectly casual reference, as I told you.
Well, what did you say, Alistair?
Merely that I just finished having a drink with her at the Coliseum bar.
Friends, here's a suggestion that'll help you go through a busy day feeling more relaxed and satisfied. From time to time, especially when you're feeling tense or under pressure, chew a stick of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. You see, chewing is a natural way to get rid of some of that pent-up tension. Chewing on a good, smooth piece of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum not only helps you feel more relaxed, but also gives you taste enjoyment. There's lots of refreshing, delicious flavor in Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. You'll really enjoy it. So do what millions do. Always keep Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum handy and chew some every day. You'll feel more relaxed, and you'll get more enjoyment out of the things you do. Next time you're at the store, get a few packages of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. managed to get back to Kuala Lumpur in about half the time it had taken me to get to the plantation. George Allister was still grumbling about the climate, the country, and being involved in the Langley affair.
Oh, confound it, Dollar. I told you Langley was disintegrating, but I didn't think he'd ever take a gun and go hunting his wife to kill her.
Has he tried to get in touch with you?
No.
But he knows you saw Mrs. Langley at the Coliseum bar.
Why, yes, I told him that on the phone.
Did she say anything about a raid at the plantation? About an attempt to kill her there?
Oh, not a word. Claimed she was in town on a 2-day shopping trip. Seemed cheerful and happy.
And she's staying at some hotel, huh?
Mm-hmm. Room 22 at the Crown House. Small, reasonable rates. She usually stays there when she's in town.
Mm-hmm. Well, you better call the police and brief them while I'm on the way over. The sooner Langley's picked up, the better.
Yes, of course.
Oh, by the way, Alistair, you wouldn't happen to know who holds that 50,000-pound note against Langley's plantation, would you?
Why, yes. I own the note. Why?
Just curious. There wasn't any sign of the Koala police in the Crown House lobby, so I went right up to Mrs. Langley's room on the second floor. Whatever preconceived ideas I might have had concerning what Maida Langley would be like didn't even come close.
So you're an insurance man, Mr. Dollar. That outfit of yours must have a hole in its head, sending you all the way to Koala because of those crazy ideas of Harry's.
You don't think there's anything to him, Mrs. Langley?
But nothing. The lad got himself into a lather with that crummy plantation that's riding his back. Been working too hard, that's all.
You think that's all there is to it? Overwork?
What else? All he needs is a good long vacation away from that stinking plantation.
What went on out there this morning?
What do you mean?
Well, you were at the plantation when the terrorists made that raid, weren't you?
Oh, that, sure. Getting so I don't pay any attention to those things anymore. They're happening all the time.
Where were you when it took place?
My room, packing for this trip to town. Why?
Well, both your husband and Crawford have the idea that somebody staged that raid in order to kill you.
Kill me?
They both said you disappeared right after it.
Well, sure I did. I drove to town.
Anybody see you leave?
Bandar was at the gate. He let me out. And Harry knew I was coming here.
Your husband knew that?
Sure, Harry's going to join me here. This place has got a kind of, well, you might call it sentimental feeling for us.
Oh, yeah? How's that, Mrs. Langley?
I was staying here when I first met Harry. Lots of show people stay here.
Oh, you were in show business?
Oh, couldn't you tell? Sure. I was traveling around the Orient with a girly show. Nothing big time, you understand, but it was a living. Funny how those things turn out. Never figured I'd wind up someday being the wife of a rich plantation owner.
Must have been quite a change.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Just another chorus cutie on the make who managed to snag herself a gold mine.
I didn't say that.
Well, don't. I happen to love that guy of mine. When he meets me here, I'm going to make him take me to Singapore for a month. Just the two of us. A real vacation. And then you'll forget all this crazy business about people wanting to kill him and me. Everything will be okay then. When we get back, we'll go...
Get down!
What was...
Get down!
Mr. Dollar?
Yeah. You didn't get started on that vacation soon enough. The shots had come from the rear of another hotel, just across the alleyway from the Crown House. When I got over there, I found just about what I'd expected. A room filled with babbling tenants, the smell of burnt cordite, and an excited room clerk.
Yes, Tuan. It was a gentleman who rented this room. He had registered here 30 minutes ago. I do not understand why he's not here now.
Happen to remember his name?
Oh, yes, Tuan. I take great pride in my work here. I remember the names of all the hotel guests.
Well, I'm only interested in one. The man who rented this room.
Oh, yes, I remember quite distinctly. He registered here under the name of Harrison Langley.
I went back to Maida's room to get her out of there and under police protection. I could have saved myself the trip. She was gone. I spent the next 3 hours going round and round with the Koala police. Eventually, they decided they'd try to pick up Langley and see what they could do about protecting Maida. Expense account item 3, $10 for a double scotch on the rocks and a half-eaten dish of mame at the Coliseum bar. I don't think the bill would have run that high, but when I saw the face in the crowded bund outside the window, I didn't feel like waiting for change. Still looking for her, Langley?
What? Oh, it's you, Dollar.
Still looking for Maida?
Then you knew I came here to Koala to kill her.
That's the general impression I received, yeah.
It's a terrible thing. What a scheming woman can do to a man, Dollar. Terrible thing.
You want to tell me about it first, or do we go straight to the police?
Doesn't really matter now, does it?
Probably not.
There's a little garden across the square. I used to meet Maida there. Do you mind if we talk about it there?
Sounds like as good a place as any.
I don't know, Dollar. Maybe it's because I'm a weakling. Maybe it's because when a man marries late in life, as I did, it hits him harder when he learns that his wife no longer loves him.
You still think that's the real story?
I know it is. She and Crawford.
That's not the way she tells it, Langley.
I should have known better. A cheap dance hall tramp. She only married me for my money.
And you're convinced Maida and Crawford intended to murder you?
Oh, no. Don't underestimate my sweet, darling wife, Dollar. She didn't want me killed. Then Crawford could force her into marrying him. No. All she wanted was to have me adjudged mentally incompetent. Then she'd have control of my money and no strings attached. That's why she was so brazen about her affair with Crawford. Why they tried to break me down with all those threats against my life, fake those terrorist raids against the plantation. To make me crack, break down under the strain, commit some unreasoning act of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they almost succeeded. I came here to Koala today to kill Maida, to get rid of her once and for all. I couldn't see any other way out. No other answer for me.
Murder's never an answer for anything, Langley.
I'm not sure. I spent the whole afternoon walking the streets, thinking about it, trying to bring some semblance of sanity back into my life. I don't know, Dollar. Maybe I shouldn't have changed my mind. Maybe if I'd gone to that hotel and killed her. I don't know.
You still have the gun with you?
Yes. Yeah. Here it is.
Thanks. Well, the magazine's full. Gun doesn't look as though it's been fired.
Why should it? I told you I changed my mind about killing her, didn't I?
Yeah. So you did. I asked Langley to wait in the garden and went across to the Coliseum Hotel, where I made 3 quick phone calls. The first was to the Koala police. They told me the slugs they dug out of the wall in Maida's hotel room were .38 caliber. The second call was to the Sundown Plantation.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Juan Langley's wife left the plantation early yesterday morning.
And why did you tell me she disappeared?
It was at her request, sir. She said to tell everyone that. She was planning some surprise for Juan Langley.
Uh-huh. What about Crawford? Is he around?
No, sir. He left for Kuala Lumpur shortly after you did.
Did he say when he was coming back?
Yes, sir. He said he would return by midnight tonight.
Uh-huh. He had a gun with him, of course.
Yes, sir. He not only took his, but also Juan Langley's .38 caliber Webley.
The third call was to the room clerk of the hotel where the shots had been fired. His memory was still good concerning the man who'd registered as Harrison Langley. 6 feet tall, brown hair, heavy set, about 30. It was a perfect description of Crawford. I drove back to the garden in my armored Ford, picked up Langley, and we headed out on the jungle road leading back to the Sundown Plain. Sure, I'd get the proof I needed when we got there. But I was wrong. I got it when we were still 15 miles away.
Bullet!
Must have been a landmine.
Oh, if some poor devil ran over it in his car.
Well, we'll find out.
There it is, Dollar. An armored car. Blown clear off the road.
Yeah.
Lord. Yeah. Oh. Dollar, is there any?
Not a prayer for either one.
The gun he's wearing. That's my Webley.
I know. He used it this afternoon. Looks like I was the target and not Maida.
So, she died out here like this. Instead. Cheap chorus girl. All she wanted was money. So she married for it. But that wasn't enough. She had to scheme and connive to break me down, destroy me. So it could be all hers, alone. Well, she didn't succeed, Dollar. And I'm well rid of her. She deserved to die like this by violence. Just another dead animal in the jungle.
Mr. Langley, let's...
Cheap, no-good tramp. That's all she was. Believe me, I'm well rid of her. Well rid of her. She deserved to die like this. Nothing but a cheap, gold-digging... Gold-digging... Maida, darling, Maida.
Expense account item 4, $39.70. Hotel bill and incidentals in Kuala Lumpur. Expense account item 5, $1,083.25. Airfare and incidentals from Kuala Lumpur back to Hartford. Expense account total, $2,296.45. Remarks? Sorry I couldn't save you the loss on Maida Langley's death claim, but if it's any consolation, you're in good company. Everybody concerned seems to have lost something. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Friends, when you've got a package of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum with you, you're all set for refreshment and enjoyment at any time. At work, at home, in your car, wherever you are. Just slip a stick of delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum in your mouth and keep on with what you're doing. See how refreshing that lively spearmint flavor tastes. How it cools your mouth and helps keep your throat moist. Enjoy the good chewing, too. It'll make the time pass more pleasantly for you. And remember, chewing Wrigley's Spearmint Gum helps keep breath sweet and teeth clean. So it's a nice thing to have with you at all times. Get some next time you're at the store. That's Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum. Healthful, refreshing, delicious. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, brought to you by Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Sidney Marshall with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Howard McNear, Ben Wright, Jack Edwards, Bill Johnstone, Jack Moyles, and Virginia Gregg. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. The makers of Wrigley's Spearmint Chewing Gum hope you enjoyed tonight's story of Johnny Dollar and that you're enjoying delicious Wrigley's Spearmint Gum every day. This is Charles Lyon, inviting you to join us again next week at this same time when from Hollywood, John Lund returns as yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is the CBS Radio Network. for your listening enjoyment, John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
This is Ed Murphy, Johnny. Keystone Mutual.
Oh, hi, Ed.
Not so good, Johnny. Could you come over to the office right away?
Well, sure, Ed, but what's
I don't want to go into it on the phone, Johnny. It's going to be quite a shock to you. It's about Ben Bryson.
Ben Bryson?
Yeah, a good friend of yours, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. Too bad he had to die that way.
You're wrong, Johnny. It's too bad he didn't die a year sooner. Come on over to the office.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Keystone Mutual Assurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Ben Bryson matter. Expense account item 1, $2.40. Taxi fare from my apartment to the Keystone building and the office of Ed Murphy, Vice President.
I thought as much of Ben as I would my own son. I watched him work his way up to the top job in this company, Chief Adjuster for the West Coast, head of our San Francisco claims office. Not bad for a young man. I was proud of Ben.
Yeah, I know, Ed.
And then that accident last month. Foggy night, he missed a curve. Drove his car off a cliff into the Pacific Ocean. And that was that. The end.
Only it wasn't the end, or you wouldn't call me over here.
No, it wasn't, Johnny. Within 2 weeks after Ben's death, we started getting complaints from some of our clients out there. Demands for adjustment on claims Ben had reported paid weeks before. Requests for settlement, so on. We couldn't figure it, but we went to work quietly, and we found out.
Oh? You found out what?
Ben's accounts had been doctored for a long time, Johnny. They were short, way short. In the months before he was killed, he'd embezzled nearly $80,000 from the company.
Not Ben Bryson, Ed. Anybody else, yes. But money never meant anything to Ben.
Johnny, here's a ticket to San Francisco. Plane leaves in 2 hours.
Now, wait a second, Ed. I think I'd like to pass this one.
Yeah, so would I, but we can't, you know that. Left a lot of questions, Johnny. They've got to be answered. And $80,000 of the company's money is missing. Has to be accounted for.
Yeah, I know, but maybe you ought to get somebody else, Ed.
I'd be awful grateful if you'd do it, Johnny. You'd have the best chance. You knew him. He was your friend.
Yeah, he was my friend.
I know how you feel. Johnny.
All right, Ed. Somebody's got to do it. And like you said, Ben was my friend. Let's have the ticket. Expense account item 2, $8.90. Tips, incidentals, and taxi from the San Francisco airport to the Fairmont Hotel, where I taxied to Ben's last address, the Franciscan Arms apartment. Ben had always been the two-room bachelor walk-up type, but the Franciscan Arms was equal parts of glitter, glass, swank, and price, with a uniformed doorman, bar off the lobby, and a manager with a gardenia in his lapel. A real gardenia.
I'm most desirous of assisting you in every way possible, Mr. Dollar, but I'm terribly afraid there's simply very little I can tell you about the late Mr. Bryson.
Discretion, you mean? Policy of the house?
No, of course we do try to protect the privacy of our residents.
Even to the extent of turning down $20?
Well, under the circumstances. Thank you. Gratuities of this nature are always welcome. Pardon me. Yes? Oh, yes, Madame Renders. Yes, I'll send one of the boys up, little Coco. Yes, right away, Madame Renders. Nasty little poodle. She ought to walk it herself, take some weight off her. Now, about Mr. Bryson. He'd been our guest for about 6 months at the time of his tragic accident. A true gentleman, bon vivant, and, well, on the crassly materialistic side, a free spender.
I'm sorry, 20 is all I'll go for.
Mr. Dollar.
What about visitors? Friends here in the building?
None that I can recall. Oh, except Mrs. Kern, of course.
Mrs. Kern?
One of the loveliest and most charming guests we've ever had the pleasure. Pardon? Yes? Yes, Madame Renders. The boy is on his way. Oh, yes. Well, please tell Coco I'm so sorry. Coco, what a ridiculous name for a dog.
Yeah, now about Mrs. Kern.
Well, she and Mr. Bryson were inseparable.
And Mr. Kern?
Deceased. Early this year, I believe.
Wonder if I could talk to Mrs. Kern.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Dollar. She's been gone for 10 days.
Gone? Where?
I have the faintest idea. She'll be back eventually, though, of course. She still has her apartment here. Oh, that poor dear. Such a tragic coincidence.
What do you mean, tragic coincidence?
Well, as I understand it, Mrs. Kern's husband also died in some sort of accident.
Sure, I've been tending bar here for 2 years, Mr. Dollar. I was here before Mr. Bryson moved in, and I'm still here now that he's gone. I guess I knew as much about him as a bartender usually knows. If you were his friend, though, how come you're asking me the questions?
Well, I hadn't seen him for quite a while. He got out of touch. You know how it goes.
Yeah, friends drift apart. It's a mixed-up world, getting more mixed up all the time. Oh, yes, sir, the usual. Wants a double martini. Always wants a double martini. Yeah, Mr. Bryson spent a lot of time in here. Always with Alvy, of course.
Alvy?
Mrs. Kern, young widow that lives here in the building. Everybody calls her Alvy. You know, makes friends easy.
And one of her friends was Ben.
The main one. With her every night. I guess he was nuts about her.
He was nuts about something.
Well, can't say as I blame him. You ought to see her. Personally, though, I'd hate to be married to a doll like that. He'd go right through a man, leave him high and dry. A doll like that's born to be a widow.
Was Ben in here the night he was killed?
Yeah, left about 9. 2 hours later, he was dead.
He left alone, I suppose.
No, Alvy was with him.
Expense account item 3. $20 tip to the apartment house manager. And $1.25 taxi to my hotel. I couldn't figure the next step. Alvy Kern was the key, and without her, I was stopped cold. None of Ben's old friends had seen him since he started going around with her. His office girl knew how to type, and not much else. It was a cold trail. $80,000 had disappeared, and Ben had driven off a cliff and died. There weren't many answers left behind. Then, 2 days later, I got a phone call. Johnny Dollar.
Oh, this is Maurice, Mr. Dollar. It's the Franciscan Arms.
Oh, yeah.
I have some very interesting information.
Well?
Well,
Oh, all right, $20. What's the information?
well, I've just received a letter from Mrs. Kern. She wants me to forward her mail in care of American Express, Panama City, Panama.
Panama City. Okay, Maurice, thanks. Thanks a lot. Expense account item 4, $92.47. Hotel, telegrams, and incidentals in San Francisco. Expense account item 5, $267.20. Airfare and incidentals to Panama City, Panama.
Atención, por favor. Panaca número 508 para la ciudad Guatemala y Nuevo Nuevo.
Un momentito, señor. You are Senor Dollar, no?
Why, yes.
El capitán de Vano of the Panama Federal Police, a sus órdenes. We have received your radiogram, senor, and I have been instructed to cooperate with you intentionally.
Oh, good. What about Mrs. Kern? Had any luck finding her?
But of course. She is registered at the Hotel Primesto. Most unusual. It is small, located on the waterfront. One would think to find her in surroundings more cheap.
Is she alone?
So I am informed. So, what are your plans, Senor Dollar?
Well, I want to talk to her first. After that, we'll see. I'll check with you later, Captain.
I've heard your name before, Mr. Dollar. Then Mr. Bryson mentioned you.
Was it Ben or Mr. Bryson?
It has been. Please, I'd rather not talk about it, Mr. Dollar. Ever since that terrible accident, all I wanted to do is forget. That's why I came down here. To get away and try to forget.
You thought quite a lot of him, huh?
We were going to be married.
Well, too bad it didn't work out. You'd have had a good life. Ben's wealth and your...
Well, I had the idea that he'd just work for an insurance company.
And live the way he did? Oh, come now, Mrs. Kern.
Well, actually, that side of it didn't seem to matter much. My husband left me quite well off. And
How long were you married before he died?
only 10 months.
Oh, you do have bad luck, don't you?
Mr. Dollar, I'm not sure I understand this attitude.
Relax. Here. Have a cigarette.
No, thanks. My vices don't include smoking.
Oh? Mind if I do?
Of course not.
Thanks. Do you have a suite here, Mrs. Kern? Or just this room?
Just this room? Why?
Well, then I imagine this door leads to the bath.
What are you doing?
It does. But it's empty.
Of course it's empty.
Then the only other possibility is that closet.
Stay away from there.
There was cigarette smoke in the air when I came in, stubs in the ashtray. If you don't smoke, where did they come from?
There's no one here. Stay back or I'll...
Look, Mrs. Kern, turning out the lights may be romantic, but it's not the best... Oh! I shook my head trying to clear it, finally staggered to my feet and found the light switch. Albie Kern was cowering against the wall, staring at me, scared but not saying anything. I stumbled toward the door. The corridor was empty.
You're wrong, Johnny. There wasn't anybody here. I'm the one who hit you.
To hit like that, you'd have to grow a fist 3 times your size. No. I know what the game is now. I should have caught on sooner, but I didn't.
There's no game. I don't know what you mean.
Look, only one person I know tears cigarettes apart and shreds the paper that way.
No, Johnny, you're wrong.
The two of you in it together all along. They didn't find a body because there wasn't any body. He's still alive, hiding out. I know who hit me. It was Ben Bryson.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account item 5. 40 cents, U.S. currency, for a handful of aspirin tablets. Ben, or whoever it was who slugged me, had got away from the hotel without being caught. I gave Ben's description to Captain Devano, and I went to bed. At breakfast in the morning, I still hadn't heard from Devano, but I did get a repeat performance from my other little playmate.
Good morning, Johnny.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Kern.
Mind if I sit down?
Not if you don't double up your fist again.
I can explain that, Johnny.
With all night to think it over? I'll bet you can.
I mean, really. I wasn't the one who hit you, of course. It was silly to claim such a thing, but it wasn't Ben either, Johnny. You don't mind if I call you Johnny. I mean, you were a close friend.
All right, Mrs. Kern. If it wasn't you and it wasn't Ben, who was it?
Well, the name doesn't really matter. Let's just say it was a friend who'd rather not be brought into the picture.
And let's also say that wasn't a bad attempt. But I still don't buy it.
It's true, Johnny. Ben was drowned in San Francisco when his car ran off into the ocean. He's dead.
He can't be dead in San Francisco and still be tearing up cigarettes in Panama.
I did that. I didn't smoke them. But I tore them that way. I picked up the habit from Ben. You took a guess and you were wrong. So forget it. Let's be friends.
Sorry, I can't afford it.
Do you think I sell my friendship?
It cost Ben $80,000 of the company's money. Did you get half of it, Mrs. Kern?
No.
How much did you have left?
Stop it. Can't you understand anything? Ben is dead.
No, he's not. But I wish he were.
What do you mean?
Just that.
But he was your friend.
That's right. I thought a lot of him. It hit pretty hard when I learned he'd been stealing from his company.
Johnny.
So I took the job of digging into the mess and trying to straighten it out. And now I find out he's still alive.
No.
So now I've got to catch him and take him back. That's going to be even tougher.
Oh, you wouldn't have to, Johnny. That is, if he were alive.
No, I wouldn't have to, but I'm going to.
Johnny.
Permiso, Senor Dollar.
Oh, morning, Captain.
It is possible to speak a word with you, Senor.
Sure. Excuse me, Mrs. Kern.
Certainly.
I did not wish to mention the matter before the senora.
Turned up something?
Senor, My men have located Senor Bryson.
Here? This is the place?
Si, senor. This man is living in one of the little fishing boats which are tied to the embarcadero. The number 3 one, which is blue painted, you see?
Yeah, I see it. Well, it sort of figures. If he wanted to hide out, this would be safer than living in a hotel. You're pretty sure it's him, huh?
Yes, sorry, senor, but I think so. Miguel Pascaro, who is on the boat, said this man from 1 month ago and paid plenty money just to live on the boat tied up at the shore. And he's like you described, senor. I think so.
All right. I'll go on board and talk to him. I think it'll work better if I go alone.
Si, senor, I wait for you here.
Good. Well, Ben? Ben? Where are you?
Cabin's unlocked. Come on in.
Well, it's been a long time, Ben.
Come in, Johnny. Have a seat.
Thanks.
You'll have to overlook this litter. Temporary quarters. Johnny, why did it have to be you?
It had to be somebody, Ben. Sooner or later. You should have known that.
I guess. How'd you get onto it? Alvy?
Yeah, I traced her. Followed her down here.
She fouled up, Johnny. She wasn't supposed to come for 6 months, and the first thing I know, she's here. Said she couldn't wait.
Why did you do it, Ben?
You've seen Alvy. Do you need any more answers?
She worth the price?
For me? Sure. This face of mine always stopped the dames.
And Alvy was different?
She fell as hard as I did. I didn't know women like her even existed. She's for me all the way.
But you still had to buy her.
Mm-mm.
Price tag $80,000.
No, you're wrong. It was only that Alvy'd always lived high, and I had to live that way, too, to be around her.
What were your plans, Ben? What were you going to do?
Go to Rio, Argentina, maybe, start a new life together. That's why I needed all that money. I didn't spend that much.
And Alvy agreed to that idea?
Sure, she was all for it.
Then why did she keep her apartment in San Francisco?
She didn't. Oh, you're wrong, Johnny. Somebody gave you a bum steer. She cut loose from everything. She told me she did.
Well, we can check on it when we get back there.
Easy, Johnny, easy. I've had this gun on you ever since you came aboard. Now, don't make me use it.
Would you use it, Ben?
I'm up a dead end, Johnny, and I know it. But I'm still going on as far as I can. Don't try to stop me, Johnny. I don't want to kill you. But if I have to, I will.
I let him go. He backed out the cabin door, closed it behind him, and barred it on the outside. I heard his steps cross the deck and run along the wharf, and I waited for Captain Devano to call out, challenge him. But the only sound was a car motor starting up and speeding away. Then I heard somebody come running down the wharf.
Senor Dollar, are you there?
Yeah. Get the door open. Where is he? What happened?
He's gone, senor. He takes the car. It is me to blame, senor. I'm not alert before I know...
Oh, never mind. Where's the nearest telephone? It's been over an hour. I should have found him by now.
Oh, they will, senor. In Panama, we do not have so many roads, and they're all, how you say, blockaded.
Well, he might have slipped through before we got to a phone.
Oh, there was no time at the hotel. They say he... aquí está. Capitán Devano. Sí, yo soy cerquito del mar. Sí. No.
What is it?
Qué lástima, sí. Cuídelo bien, ¿eh? Vamos ahorita. Adiós. They have been found, Senor Dollar.
Yeah? Where?
They have tried to go by the old road on the cliff. It is too dangerous. They have missed the curve and going to the ocean.
What?
The car is under 10 meters of water. There is no signs of life.
Expense account item 6, $92 to charter a power launch and hire the services of a diver. The sea was calm, but the water wasn't clear enough to see more than just the outline of the car lying on the bottom. We waited for the diver to come up, and I looked up at the cliff towering over us. There'd been another cliff like that in San Francisco.
Yes, senor. He's coming up.
Oh, good.
¿Qué pasó, Piamo?
Espérate. El cuerpo de la señora que está abajo. Pero es el único. No hay otro.
¿Estás seguro?
Sí, señor. No hay otro abajo.
What's the matter, Captain?
We have found only the body of Mrs. Kern. Senor Bryson's body is not in the car.
The same pattern. A car plunging off a cliff into the ocean and a body missing from it. Only this time I knew it wasn't fake. Ben couldn't have done a thing like that to Albie. Not to Albie. I looked up at the cliff. Steep, but not vertical. A car would have rolled, bounced, coming down. I had Captain Devano run the launch in close, and I jumped onto the rocks and started to climb. I'd made it halfway to the top before I found him, lying jammed in a crevasse, broken and dying. Think you can... Yeah.
We didn't make it, Johnny.
You didn't have a chance, Ben.
I know. It's kind of funny. This, I mean, just like we did it in San Francisco. I mean, this time it's real.
Yeah. This time it's real.
Yeah.
Better not try to talk, Ben. We'll get some ropes down from the top. Get you out of here.
No use, Johnny. Is Albie...
She's dead, Ben.
You were right about her, Johnny.
Forget it.
I made her come with me in the car. Held a gun on her. She got mad. Spilled the whole story.
Ben, don't...
She didn't love me. Not any of the time. She admitted it. And I thought she did. And that was fine. Nobody else ever let me even think it.
Ben, it's no good talking this
So
way.
it won't matter, Johnny. Like you said, I don't have a chance. You know something? I think I'd do the same thing again. Maybe there's no answer for a guy like me.
I don't know, Ben. I'm not a judge.
Kind of figures, you know, I'll be dying too. I bought her and paid for her, Johnny. I ought to be able to take her with me. After all,
Easy, Ben.
Johnny, the money, what's left of it, inside my coat. Give it to Ed. Tell him I'm sorry. Make him understand.
He will.
You too, Johnny. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
Forget it.
I don't think I'd do it again. Crazy, eh?
Other times we all get crazy, Ben.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks.
Go on, Ben. Expense account item 7, $26.30. Hotel, taxi, and miscellaneous while in Panama. Expense account item 8, $312.90. Airfare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total, $823.82. I'm enclosing a cashier's check for $72,652 recovered from Ben Bryson, embezzler. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
Philip Martin, Johnny. What do you know about hydroelectric power dams?
Not a thing, should I?
The Travers Construction Company is building one at Sierra de Avare. That's a couple of 100 miles west of Caracas, Venezuela. Thought you might like to run down there and take a look at it.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, but no thanks.
There's a time penalty clause in their contract, Johnny, and we put up the completion bond. Now, if the dam isn't finished by a week from Friday, it starts costing us $5,000 a day until it is.
You sound worried.
We got a radiogram from Asa Travers yesterday claiming that attempts are being made to prevent the completion of the dam on schedule. Last night, Travers got himself involved in a premature dynamite explosion.
Did it kill him?
No, that was accomplished by two .38 caliber slugs they found in him afterwards.
I wonder if coffee's any cheaper in Venezuela. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Eastern Indemnity Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the sulfur and brimstone matter. Expense account item 1, $273.50. Airfare and incidentals between Hartford and Caracas, Venezuela. I was met at the Macatilla airport by the deceased Travers' partner, Senor Getulio Matarsa, who wasted little time on the amenities. 10 minutes later, we were aboard a twin-engine Cessna with Matarsa at the controls, flying west toward the Sierra de Avare Dam.
As to who may have killed Senor Travers, or why, I can tell you nothing. It is possible Capitan Borros of the Federal Police will have more information for us when we arrive.
Why federal authorities on a homicide matter?
The Sierra de Avare Dam is being partially financed by governmental funds. Naturally, the federal authorities are interested.
Now, what's your opinion about Asa Travers' report that somebody's trying to sabotage the dam?
While it is true we have had some breakdown of equipment, some vital materials lost or stolen, I do not believe anyone is attempting to delay construction by physical means.
What do you believe?
In many police organizations, Senor Dollar, even in yours, in the United States, there will always be a small percentage of dishonest men.
You talking about Captain Borrow?
On a project such as the Sierra de Avare Dam, two diligent police investigations could cause disastrous work stoppages, vital delays which could carry us far beyond the contract deadline.
And at $5,000 a day, that could turn out to be pretty rough. Did either you or Travers try to prove this little theory of yours?
We will be at the dam shortly, Senor Dollar, and your investigation can begin. It would not perhaps be wise of me to attempt to give you any preconceived ideas.
Maybe you should have thought of that before you tried so hard. Some 20 minutes later, Matarsa put the plane down on a bare earth field in the midst of a jumble of giant steam shovels, earth movers, and bulldozers. Overlooking it all was the great bulk of the Sierra de Avare Dam. Matarsa made some excuse about having to check on a turbine installation, so I made my way alone to the shack which was construction headquarters of the project. Sorry.
Excúseme, señor.
My fault.
No hay de qué. Hasta luego, señor.
Yeah?
Yeah?
My name is Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator. I'm looking for Captain Boros.
Insurance investigator. That's all we need out here now. Who's paying you off, Boris or Matarsa?
Maybe we better start over again. My name is Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator. Who are you?
Bill Anthony. I'm straw boss of this outfit. And let's get one thing straight right now. I'm here to build this dam, and it's going to get built in spite of you or Boris or Matarsa or anyone else.
Very admirable. Now, where's Captain Boros?
Last I heard, he was going over to Travers' house.
And where's that?
Near the town of Puerto Cáceres, some 10 miles north of here.
Uh-huh.
They got some jeeps parked down on the other side of the hill. Told one of the boys I said he should drive you out there.
You're mighty accommodating all of a sudden.
It'll get you out of my hair for a while.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, by the way, who's the girl I bumped into on my way in?
Philomena Travers.
Aza's daughter?
His widow. Why?
You must have been discussing some pretty important business.
What makes you think so?
Neither one of you remembered to wipe the lipstick off your chin. There were a few questions I wanted to put to Matarsa regarding Bill Anthony and Asa Travers' comely young widow, Philomena, but I didn't see him around. So I made my way to the motor pool and got myself transportation and a guide to take me to Asa Travers' home.
It is true, then, that the Senor Norteamericano has come here on the sad matter of Senor Travers' death?
Well, the word's gotten around pretty fast, hasn't it, Pedro?
Well, when one has lived in the Sierra Roja as long as has Pedro de la Cuesta, anything strange or different becomes quickly known.
Well, then maybe Pedro de la Cuesta knows something about why Senor Travers was killed.
I know only that when men make an evil thing, Senor, it will bring evil.
You're talking about the building of the dam?
Si, Senor.
Why should that be an evil thing?
It is not right for men to change the things which are natural to the earth, Senor. To force the flowing waters of a river backward upon themselves. This is not a good thing, Senor.
You talk like a plantation owner, Pedro.
No, Senor. My father was but a poor farmer who worked hard that I might go to the school of the workers here. But Pedro knows it is not a good thing what is being done here today. The evil that man creates will destroy him as it has already done to Senor Travers. And there will be more it will destroy, Senor. Many, many more.
Now, that's a happy thought. Asa Travers' house was a neat white stucco bungalow, half hidden by a mass of flowering bougainvillea. I left Pedro de la Cuesta with his gloomy thoughts while I went up to see if anyone was around. It soon became evident that somebody was. The shots came from a low barn-like building at the rear of the property, and I wasted no time getting over there to see if Pedro's prophecy had already been fulfilled.
Buenas tardes, senor. So we meet again, huh?
Yeah.
But you look so startled, senor. Almost as though you had expected to find a body in here.
Well, I hadn't expected to find a shooting gallery, Senora Travers.
Asa had it built for my amusement. I have always found firearms fascinating ever since I was a little girl. And there is little else with which one may amuse oneself out here in this wilderness. I have become quite proficient at it. You see?
Not bad. What's the gun? 38 caliber on a 45 frame?
Si, senor. And you are thinking perhaps that it is the same caliber bullet which caused the death of Asa?
The thought had occurred to me, yeah.
Well, it is regrettable one must disappoint you, senor. Capitan Boros has already shed the gun.
I see. Where is the good captain?
Oh, he left perhaps 20 minutes ago.
We didn't pass him on the road.
Are you always so suspicious of other persons' statements, Senor Dollar?
Let's say I'm curious.
And you find something to be curious about concerning me?
Oh, a number of things.
Oh?
Well, I haven't told you who I am or why I'm here, but you seem to know.
But of course, senor. Bill Anthony has called me on the telephone and so informed me.
And you don't seem particularly grief-stricken over the death of your husband.
I have a philosophy of life, senor. It is always to look forward, never back. It is only the future one may possibly control, never the past.
Sometimes the past has a nasty habit of affecting one's future.
Only if one has been guilty of from crime.
And you haven't?
Would you believe me if I said no?
Senor Dollar. Senor Dollar.
In here, Matarsa.
Senor. Senor, you must return with me to the dam at once.
Why? What's up?
It is that Capitan Borros. He has just ordered an immediate stoppage of all work on the dam. You see, Senor Dollar, already the work has come to a halt. Nothing is moving. The steam shovels, the concrete mixers, nothing.
Uh-huh. Where's Captain Boris?
In a construction shack with Bill Anthony.
Let's talk with him.
I tell you, Senor Dollar, there is only one answer for this action. Capitan Borros is looking for the payout.
We'll talk to him.
I'm about ready to... Well, it's about time you got here, Dollar. Maybe you can talk some sense into this bull-headed jackass who calls himself captain of police.
I have listened to enough of this kind of talk, Senor Anthony. I'm willing to talk sensibly and calmly with anyone. But violent words or actions will not sway me in the least.
Well, that makes sense, Captain. Can you do the same about this sudden clampdown order of yours?
Quite simply, Senor, I had no alternative. It was necessary to halt work upon the dam in order to prevent possible irreparable damage to the construction.
What kind of nonsense is that, Capitan?
It is a statement of fact, Senor Metarsa. I discovered this afternoon that Senor Anthony was about to dynamite a passageway for the new riverbed. He was employing an excessive amount of dynamite that would bring the hillside down upon the cut that has already been made.
You're lying in your teeth, Boris.
I am no engineer, Senor Anthony. But when the specifications call for 25 cases of dynamite, and I find 50 such cases are being employed, drastic action of some kind is certainly called for.
How about that, Anthony?
He's off his rocker, Dollar. I issued the specifications for the job. 25 cases were called for. And only 25 cases were taken out of the powder house.
Seems to be a little difference of opinion, Captain. Suppose we go down and take a look at those dynamite charges.
If you wish, Senor. But I can assure you, you will be able to learn nothing that will alter my decision until I get to the bottom. Dynamite!
The charges we set to blast the new riverbed. Somebody sets them off.
With our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our subsequent investigation showed that Bill Anthony's specifications for 25 cases of dynamite had cleared through the powder house just that way. And the explosive experts there said that only an amount greatly in excess of that could have caused the damage that had been done. And we discovered that the blast had been touched off by a crude homemade sparking contraption we found in the brush on one of the nearby hills. It was dark by the time we got back to the construction shack. Matarsa was waiting for us with a report on the results of the investigating he and Bill Anthony had done.
The original damage is not as great as we feared, senores.
Yeah? How's that, Matarsa?
While it is true the explosion buried the new cut, it is only for a relatively short distance. We can bypass it through a natural canyon on the other side of the hill. The work will be completed by Friday.
You are forgetting something, are you not, senor?
Your work stoppage orders, Capitan Borros?
Mm-hmm.
No. I am flying to Caracas tonight. There are higher authorities there who can quite easily countermand your orders. I'm certain they will prevent you from interfering any longer in the construction of the Sierra de Abarre Dam. Buenas noches, senores.
Looks like he's calling your hand, Captain.
See. And I have no doubt he will succeed, senor. There are those in Caracas who, for a handful of silver, will sell practically anything, including their souls.
You know, Matarsa has the same idea about you.
He's not the first nor will it be the last. A police official is always suspect. There are but few who realize that there are other considerations besides those of money.
How about naming me one, Captain?
8 men have died so far in the construction of this dam, senor. All of them during the so-called accidents which have occurred. What if I should tell you that my reason for holding construction, until we get to the bottom of this, consists solely of a desire to save more lives?
Well, I'd say it sounds reasonable. On a construction project like the Sierra de Avari Dam, there's not much to do at night except eat and sleep. In the mess hall, I was served up a beautiful thing called cazuela. I was seriously considering presenting my compliments to the chef when I was called to the phone in Bill Anthony's office.
I trust I did not interrupt anything too important, Senor Dollar, but I am about to leave this dreary wilderness for the much more pleasant surroundings to be found in Caracas.
Getting tired of target practice?
Oh, I'm tired of many things, Senor. Tired and bored. So perhaps when you're finished with your business there, you would care to look me up in Caracas. I will be at the Gran Palacio.
That's not what you called me about.
Not everything, perhaps.
What's the rest of it?
Well, after you left, I happened to recall what my dear husband Asa once said to me concerning the dam and the accidents which had been occurring there.
What was it?
He said, strange how the works of the devil always carry the odor of sulfur and brimstone with them.
What else did he say?
Well, it is all, Senor.
Pretty cryptic, isn't it?
It means nothing to you?
Should it?
Would it help any if I were to tell you that very close to where the dynamite explosion occurred this afternoon, there's an old abandoned sulfur mine?
It might. What do you know about an old sulfur mine somewhere around here, Pedro?
I know that there is one, senor, but it has not been worked. There has been no one near it for many years. It could be of no importance to anyone.
Suppose we find out.
There is evil in here, senor. Much evil. What is it the senor hopes to discover here?
I'm not sure, Pedro.
Senor?
Up ahead there. What's your guess?
Those wooden boxes? How would I know?
You've been working on a construction job, Pedro. Take a closer look.
It is the explosive, senor. The boxes of dynamite.
Yeah. Some empty, some full. Well, that answers one question.
What question, senor?
Where the excess dynamite came from that blew up half that mountain today. And take a look behind those stacked cases.
Ay, Santa Maria.
Yeah. Looks like we got more answers than we bargained for. When we got back to the camp, I rounded up Captain Boros. He agreed with me heartily in all respects.
Si, Senor Dollar. I would say your little trip to the sulfur mine has supplied us with several answers. Finding the dynamite, the body of Senor Bill Anthony.
Let's not forget the gun, Captain.
38 caliber. The same caliber that killed Senor Travers. The initials on the butt are GM. And when you consider that the sulfur mine is owned by Senor Getulio Metarsa...
Yeah. How soon are you leaving for Caracas?
Immediately. Perhaps you would like to return with me.
That's the second best offer I've had in Venezuela.
Oh? And the first, Senor?
Well, I should find the answer to that at the Gran Palacio. An hour and a half later, I checked into the Gran Palacio. Valet service did a fairly good job of removing the clinging yellow sulfur dust from my clothes, while a hot shower did the same for my skin. But nothing could help the chemical reaction of the sulfur dust that had tarnished the silver coins in my pocket until they were almost black. When I asked for Senora Travers, I was told she would be at the Hippodromo Nacional. Expense account item 2, $3.50. Cab fare from the Gran Palacio to Caracas' sumptuous Hippodromo Nacional. Good evening, Senora.
Senor Dollar.
Surprised?
In a way. I was not expecting to see you here tonight. Do you always accept invitations so hurriedly?
Well, only under unusual circumstances.
Do you find this one unusual?
Well, let's say the widow's lack of grief over her husband's passing was rather marked.
You're not being very amusing.
Neither was your explanation about that sulfur mine. It's leading Captain Boros to Getulio Matarsa just about now.
Getulio? Oh, he's the one who... Oh, that is too bad.
Why?
He had promised to take care of my expenses during my stay here in Caracas.
Well, you'd better start looking for another philanthropist.
I do not suppose...
I don't think I could afford it.
Oh, how unfortunate. Well, in that case, I would not consider asking you to pay for my drink.
I'm still not too happy about that sulfur mine explanation.
There is nothing more I can tell you, senor.
Not even where you got that coin?
Coin?
The one you just threw on the bar. Tarnished. Almost black. In case you didn't know, that's what sulfur does to silver.
I see.
Well?
It was given to me day before yesterday, senor. It was the wish of the giver that I purchase a candle with it to burn for my husband.
Who gave it to you?
Pedro de la Cuesta.
It didn't take long to find Captain Boros or to make the return flight to Sierra de Ovalle. Locating Pedro de la Cuesta was another matter. When we finally made it, dawn was already hitting the hills. Unfortunately, it looked like we were a little too late.
Senor Dollar.
Yeah, I see him.
That box he has with him. Another sparking mechanism. The dynamite must be buried in the hill beside him.
Isn't the river on the other side?
It is. If he explodes that dynamite, the river will break into a new channel and sweep down upon the dam.
Hold it, Boris.
There is no other way, senor. Only a bullet can stop him now. He can explode the charge at any time before we reach him.
Let me take a crack at it.
Por favor, senor Dollar. Do not communicate, por favor.
It's no good, Pedro. What you're doing is no good.
It will destroy the evil, senor. It will prevent the good earth from being drowned by the wicked water.
For a while, maybe, but only for a while. No matter what you do here today, that dam will be built.
No, senor. It will be taken as an omen, as a sign from heaven. The evil thing will be left alone to drown in its own water, as they wish to drown my Maria.
You're Maria, Pedro? Who is she?
Mi esposa, senor. My wife. She who came with me to this land almost 40 years ago. Maria, who worked with me in the soil, who bore our children, who gave of herself for me, our family, for our land. Our grave lies there beyond those hills, senor, where the evil ones will release the waters.
Is that why you want to destroy the dam, Pedro? Because of Maria's grave?
She belongs there, senor, in the good earth to which she gets so much of herself, and they wish to destroy her grave, senor, to drown it in those filthy waters so they can make money, to wash away the only thing that ever meant anything in my life. How could I allow that, senor? How?
Is that why you killed Senor Travers?
He would not listen. On my knees I begged him, but he would not listen. An evil man, senor.
And Senor Anthony?
But he suspects me. Follow me to the sulfur mine. I had no choice, senor. And you have given me none now.
Put the box down, Pedro.
No, senor. It is unfortunate you must die with me.
Put it down.
It is too late, senor. Perhaps somewhere we will meet again.
Senor Dollar, you're all right?
Yeah. Thanks, Boris. How come you missed him?
But it was necessary that I miss. What if I'd hit the box and it caused contact? A most unhappy thought.
So was the one I had.
What was that, Senor Dollar?
The same thing could have happened just now when it hit the ground. Expense account item 3, $41.60. Hotel bill and incidentals in Caracas. Expense account item 4, $267. Airfare and incidentals from Caracas back to Hartford. Expense account total, $585.60. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
From Hollywood, it's time now for John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
Down Vegas, Johnny. Hey, how would you like to go to California with me?
Well, I like that fine, but do I have to work?
If you want to eat while you're out. Johnny, we've written a lot of insurance for Los Angeles contractor named Elliot Champion.
Uh-huh.
Last night, his latest project went up in smoke. An office building he completed 2 weeks ago.
How much is the policy worth?
Damages over $500,000. I talked with our arson inspector long distance. He had some interesting things to say.
Like what?
The file looks phony.
I'll pack my things.
John Lund in the transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Great Eastern Fire and Casualty, New York City. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Elliot Champion matter. Expense account item 1, $38.87, train fare and incidentals between Hartford and New York, where I met Agent Don Vickers and we made arrangements to fly to California. Item 2, $28 even, one raincoat. Item 3, $199.15, transportation New York to Los Angeles. En route, Vickers filled me in on the details concerning Mr. Elliot Champion.
I met him once, Johnny, when he was in New York last time.
Uh-huh.
Vickers, I said to myself, look well on this man. He may be the last of his kind.
How's that, Don?
Well, Champion's 60 or better now, and he's been everything in his lifetime. Sailor, soldier, lawyer, financier, Lord knows what all. One of those birds who started with absolutely nothing. He talked fast, worked hard, and what he couldn't get one way, he managed to get another. All in all, he's done pretty well. I didn't like him, Johnny.
Go on.
Well, maybe I was just jealous of his aggressiveness, or maybe it's that I've heard stories of how he ran roughshod over big and little. No, well, it's about this office building.
Yeah?
Ives, the man who called me, has worked on several arson cases for us. Said the fire was of a definite incendiary origin.
Can he prove it?
Yeah. Nothing fancy. Somebody poured a few gallons of gasoline over some leftover building materials in the elevator shaft and threw a match on it.
Well, pretty effective. What else?
Well, Champion's in financial trouble. The insurance would be better than the building. Ives will probably have more for us when we get there. He's been working on it from the start.
I feel like a patsy.
Oh, how's that?
Well, Norman Ives has always been the best arson man in the business since I can remember. And you're no slouch. What am I doing in this?
Protection, Johnny. If Champion fired that building down and collect the insurance, I want to know about it. Ives might find the answer, you might find it, or I might find it. But where Champion's involved, it won't be easy. We'll all have to work.
Are you scared of this guy?
Yeah. Nobody's ever beat him.
Expense account item 4, $7.50. Incidentals upon arrival. Vickers and I checked in at the New Statler Hotel, grabbed a few hours' sleep, and the next morning drove out to the scene of the fire with Norman Ives, the arson expert.
A watchman on duty had seen a man loitering in the vicinity of the building when he came to work at 6 o'clock.
3 other people remember the same man. A druggist, a filling station man, and a newsboy. All of their descriptions were pretty close. Medium build, medium height, medium weight. Between 25 and 30.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah. Now, the druggist and the man who ran the filling station could only supply the description, but the newsboy swears he saw this man sneak around the side of the building around 8 o'clock. The fire broke out about 8:30.
Anybody see him leave?
The newsboy says he saw him catch a bus on the corner right before the fire broke out. The bus driver on the line wasn't any help. The police have broken out every mug they can find in the arson files.
Well, if the man with all the medium things about him is the man, this might not be so tough.
No luck so far. I don't think they'll pick him up in the arson files, Dollar. It was an amateur job. And I'll show you exactly how when we get there.
What about the police lineup?
Well, they've had 3 so far. 1 coming up tonight and 1 tomorrow. And I'd say that's a long chance, too.
No professional, no firebug?
There's a possibility, sure, but none of it seems right to me. A bug will plan it and perform it just like an expert. And he'll stand around and watch it burn. Maybe he'll call somebody up and tell him how happy he is. But I don't think our boy is any bug. There's something else in it, or I miss my guess.
Well, you're the specialist. Any ideas?
Not a one. I talked to the men who had been working in the building that day. There was no gasoline stored in that basement when they left work at 4 o'clock. But somebody moved in at least 5 gallons of gas between 4 and 6 when the watchman came on. How he did it, where he got it, I don't know. But it's one thing we'll have to find out.
The police have any leads?
They're working as hard as they know how. It would take a long time to check every filling station and find out who bought a 5-gallon can of gasoline.
Yeah.
We're up against something here, and
Has anybody talked to Champion?
Not yet. All he knows is that the fire people are trying to discover how the blaze started. I thought it best to leave it that way until we get our bearings. Well, here we are.
Sure looks like a mess.
Yeah. Come on, I'll show you how much of a mess it really is.
We spent the rest of the day covering the ruins of the 10-story office building that had been gutted by flames 2 days before. Ives acquainted us with all of the necessary details on exactly how the fire had been started. That night, we sat in on the lineup at the police station while the 4 witnesses looked at some 60-odd suspects. There were no identifications. The next day, while Vickers and Ives worked with the police, I went out to Elliott Champion's real estate office in Glendale. Expense account item 5, $5 taxi fare, including tip. Remember that old saw about how a woman in love is always beautiful? Well, when I walked in, I had no idea Mildred Champion was in love and no idea that she was beautiful. Her sallow face, without makeup, framed in a wisp of never-set blonde hair, wasn't flattered by the shapeless black dress and low-heeled shoes that she was wearing. Certainly not the going idea of beauty. Nor did her conversation reveal anything to indicate love.
Yes, may I help you?
Mr. Elliott Champion, please. My name is Dollar.
Dollar? D-O-L-L-A-R?
He's not expecting me.
Your business, Mr. Dollar?
Great Eastern Fidelity. It's about the fire.
Oh, just a moment, please.
Well, what is it, Mildred?
Mr. Dollar is here, Uncle Elliott.
I don't want to see anybody today. I told you that, you idiot.
He's from the insurance company. It's about the fire.
Oh. Now, send him in. You're going out to lunch.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Dollar, straight ahead.
He always like that?
He's nice today.
I see. Thanks, Mildred. Well, that's your name, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Oh, straight ahead.
Dollar?
Yes, Mr. Champion.
Come on in. I'm not going to ask you to sit down. I know why you're here. You have insurance investigator written all over you.
Well, in that case, we can get right down to business, Mr. Champion.
We certainly can. Do they know what caused the fire yet?
They do. Somebody poured gasoline on some rubbish in the basement. It was deliberate.
I thought so.
Why?
Because Joseph Harrison is out of prison now, and he swore he'd get back at you.
Who's Joseph Harrison?
Harrison worked for me at one time. Discovered stealing money from me, and I prosecuted him. He was sent to prison for 5 years.
He's the one.
You seem pretty certain of that.
Of course I'm certain of it. I know what enemies I have, what friends.
There are some witnesses who've got to look at the man who we believe started the fire. What does Joseph Harrison look like?
I don't remember. I hardly ever remember faces.
But you remembered his threat.
What I remembered was the small story in the newspapers last week that he was being released from prison.
Well, we'll certainly look him up and have a talk with him.
Now, that's very good of you, I'm sure.
Now, look, this can be a difficult thing all the way around, or we can cooperate, Mr. Champion.
I understand you people have been over to my bank, looking into my personal affairs.
I don't think I have to beat around the bush with you, Mr. Champion. There's a lot of money at stake here. We'll have to hold up your claim until we get all the facts.
You'll pay that claim, Mr. Dollar.
I didn't say we wouldn't. But we'll have to be satisfied in all directions.
Then satisfy yourself. Get Joseph Harrison. He burned down my building.
A review of the trial and proceedings in which Joseph Harrison had been convicted of grand theft, his threats at the time of the trial, substantiated Champion's information. When two of the witnesses identified Harrison's mug picture, an APB went out. We worked with the police. When all the routine places had been covered, we branched out and went out after anybody.
Who are you?
My name's Dollar. Are you Mr. Angle?
That's right.
Insurance investigator, Mr. Angle. Trying to locate a former client of yours, Joseph Harrison.
Oh, my goodness. I defended Joe over 6 years ago. You come in. I always fix my own dinner. Poached egg and half. Ulcers. Name's Dollar?
Yeah.
Hey, you want something?
No, thanks.
Do you mind if I finish?
No, go right ahead.
What led you to me?
Well, covering everybody. We're very anxious to get a hold of Harrison and talk to him.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be much help, Dollar. What's it all about?
He's been identified as the man who started a fire in the Elliott Champion building.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you, Mr. Angle?
Truly sorry. Joe Harrison was a nice kid who got in a little trouble, is all. But a calendar job. Born with one war just finished, a depression on deck, and another war in the hole. Makes a difference in a man's life. The calendar got him. Everything was against him at the trial, too. Champion poured it on. He didn't have to, but he did. He could have let him off.
Did you try to talk him into that?
No, I didn't. Nobody talks Elliott Champion into anything. And besides, Joe would never admit taking the funds. He said he was framed. Well, he didn't have a prayer with all the evidence Champion had against him. Why,
I read the trial notes.
Yeah, and that's it. Joe pleaded not guilty in the face of everything, and he went up. I want him to make a guilty plea and go on the mercy of the court. It was his first offense.
Well, he's out now, and as I said, it looks like he's trying to get even with Champion for prosecuting him.
Oh, for a lousy 10 grand.
Has he gotten in touch with you?
Oh, no.
You ever write to you from prison?
No.
You have any idea where he'd be in town, Mr. Angle?
No, I don't.
Well, then I guess I'll leave you to your eggs.
Oh, yeah. Dollar. If you find Joe, I'd like to know about it.
Why, Mr. Angle?
I'd like to see him. I wonder what 5 years in prison does to a kid like that.
Yeah. At 5 o'clock that afternoon, it seemed we had run down every possible lead trying to find Joseph Harrison. By that time, the other two witnesses had made up their minds that he was the man they'd seen after all. With the 4 identifications, the case against Harrison became stronger, and our case against Elliott Champion grew weaker. It was imperative that we locate Harrison and prove or disprove that he started the fire. Yeah, Johnny Dollar.
This is Mildred Champion. Remember in my uncle's office?
Yeah, I remember.
Mr. Dollar, you're looking for Joe Harrison, aren't you? I know you are. You don't have to answer me. And I think I can help you find him, but he's not the one you're looking for. I live at 1038 Murata Drive. I'll be home in another hour. We can talk there.
At 5:30, I received another call. This one from Champion's lawyer. He advised me that Champion would bring suit if the claim was not honored immediately. Could have been a bluff, or he could have meant business. We never found out. I had a third call at 5:38.
Johnny, this is I.
Hi, how's it going?
Champion's dead.
What?
I'm on my way out of the house now. Somebody shot him 10 minutes ago.
We'll return to yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. Now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Apparently, Elliot Champion had died as swiftly as he had lived. A .38 slug had entered the very center of his forehead. There was no weapon lying about. There were no witnesses in the remote hilly section of Glendale where he lived to give any information concerning the crime. The police were more anxious than ever to find Joseph Harrison. Their reasoning was that if he'd burned down a $250,000 building to get back at Elliot Champion, he also might shoot him. The arson case had turned into a murder case. When Don Vickers joined Ives and me at the scene, things were still pretty much up in the air.
Well, now, this is a new wrinkle. What do you suppose...
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I thought I was getting somewhere.
You find something?
I don't know. Take a look at this.
Huh?
Here. Mildred Champion married Harrison a month before he was convicted.
Well, I'll be...
Me, too.
Were they separated?
Only by the prison term. No record of any divorce or annulment proceedings. Well, what do you make of it, Johnny?
I don't know what to make of it. She called me earlier and said she had some information for me. I was on my way there when this happened.
You didn't talk to her?
No. She's his only living relative. And now she can't be found. Not at her place, anyhow.
Funny, huh?
It wasn't funny at all. From the 2 times I'd spoken to her and the 1 time I'd seen her, I'd gathered a pretty definite impression of Mildred Champion. But apparently, it had been all wrong.
All right, I'm here. I'll be there.
Why, Dollar.
Hello, Mr. Engel.
Never thought I'd see you anymore. What's up? Still looking for Joe?
Still looking for Joe.
Yeah, wish I could help you, Dollar.
Elliot Champion was shot and killed in his home tonight.
No.
That's all you have to say?
What else is there to say? Unless I ask, did Joe do it?
Maybe.
Well?
Did you know Mildred Champion?
I met her.
Did you know she was married to Joe Harrison?
Yeah.
I'll throw one more thing at you, Engel. Champion wasn't always too good about paying his income taxes. Our accountants cover everything in a case like this.
What do you want me to say?
I'm here to get all of the story now. I think you're the man who can tell it.
Why?
You can tell me if Harrison was the kind of man who'd start that fire. You can tell me if he really was an embezzler. You can tell me if you think he'd kill Champion.
I can't tell you anything, Dollar. All I have is my opinion.
Well, I'd like your opinion. I really would, Engel. There's something about her being married to Harrison, isn't there?
Yeah? A wife can't testify against her husband. Everyone else in Champion's office testified against him.
I see. Now, the opinion. Come on, Engel.
No, you're right, Dollar. I've got ideas, and all of them make me sick inside. Joe Harrison stood there and told me he was innocent. He said it 1,000,000 times if he said it once. And he told me he thought Champion was framing him.
For the income tax shortages?
Well, that's just surmise, Dollar. He was a green kid who was hired into the company by Champion. He might have been hired to be plain on a phony embezzling charge that'd give Champion a good excuse on his taxes for a while.
I've been fooled a lot of times.
Were you fooled with him?
I don't know. I wish I could have gotten him off. I tried, Dollar. Believe me, I tried. You say he's out getting even. He's burned down a building and maybe murdered a man. Joe was a nice boy, Dollar. But now his whole life's gone. And for what? I hope you don't find him. I hope nobody ever finds him.
But we did find Joseph Harrison. He was right under our noses all the time. When I called back at the hotel, there was a message for me to get down to the county hospital. Ives was waiting for me there. We both stood and looked at Joseph Harrison in the morgue.
It's a funny thing, Johnny. There's been an alarm out on this guy for 6 hours. Everybody's been looking everywhere for him, and he turns up right here. Only he's dead.
What killed him?
TB. Just got the whole story. He had it awful bad up at San Quentin. Wanted out awful bad. In the sick ward his last 2 years. When his time was up last week, he made him release him. But he wound up here. Died in this hospital. Just a kid, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were right back where we'd started from, trying to make a case against Elliot Champion. Except now it was trying to make a case against the estate of Elliot Champion. I was surprised to learn before leaving the county hospital that his niece had still not been seen to be informed of her uncle's death. I was even more surprised when Don Vickers reported from police headquarters.
Johnny, this case is breaking.
What?
A guy who runs a gas station on San Fernando Road sold a woman a 5-gallon tin of gasoline last Monday.
Mildred Champion?
Well, it sure sounds like her. Tall, rangy, about 30. The car description checks out, too. She could be the one who did the job on the building easy enough.
Yeah. And on her uncle, too.
Again?
Yeah, come on. And close that and lock it.
It's awful late for this.
I know.
Now what?
We found Joe. He's dead.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And he didn't do any of the things we thought he might have done. I'm here to find out what you might have done.
Oh, I don't get you.
Engel, I don't know how to figure you. I haven't been able to since we met. Well, now, it doesn't make any difference what I think of you. But it makes a difference how you answer this question. A lot of difference to you.
Well, what, Dollar?
Did you help Champion frame Joe Harrison?
No. I told you I defended him. I tried my best to get him off.
That's the truth?
I'm an honest man, if not a successful one. I told you the truth.
Well, if you did, you're not in any trouble. If you didn't, you might get killed.
What?
You might anyhow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ask who it is.
Yeah. Who is it?
Mildred Champion, Mr. Engel.
Tell her just a minute.
Just a minute, Miss Champion.
Okay. Get over there. Go on. Get down.
All right.
Call the police.
Hold it up, Mildred. Hold it up!
Are you hurt?
You.
Are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. Did I kill him? Did I kill him?
No, Mildred. You didn't kill him.
Oh, he ought to be dead. My uncle stole money from himself and made it look like Joe did it.
I know about that.
And that one in there, he helped him. Why didn't you let me kill him, too?
He didn't help your uncle. He tried to help Joe.
When I went over to see Joe last month in the prison hospital, I knew he was dying. He had that look in his eyes. Helpless. And he knew what my uncle had done to him, and he couldn't do anything about it.
But you figured you could. You killed your uncle when you found out Joe died. You came here to kill Engel.
I thought he helped him do it. I thought he helped kill Joe. They did kill him, you know. When they sent him to prison as surely as if they'd shot him down. 5 years I waited for him to get out of that awful place. I waited to hold him in my arms and tell him it was all over. 5 years I waited to help him forget his hate and my hate. Loving him so much every day. And now he's dead. What can you or I or anybody do about what they've done to him? Look at me, Mr. Dollar. I'm not what you'd call beautiful. I'm not even pretty. Nobody ever looked at me twice until Joe. He looked at me and he loved me, and now he's dead, and I'm dead inside. I'm dead inside, and I'll be glad when I'm dead outside.
Come on, Mildred. Expense account item 6, same as item 3, transportation back to New York. Item 7, same as item 1, transportation New York to Hartford. Item 8, $85 miscellaneous. Expense account total, $516.54. Comments. Item 8 you can take away if you want to. It's a legitimate miscellaneous that I pampered myself with. I wanted to forget Mildred Champion talking about her lover. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars John Lund in the title role and is written by E. Jack Newman with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Eddie Marr, Joe Duvall, Joyce McCluskey, Francis X. Bushman, and Herb Butterfield. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Dan Coverly, inviting you to join us next week at this time when John Lund returns as...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Tomorrow night at the Star's address, look up Danny Clover, detective in New York City's teeming Times Square area. Danny, born and brought up in the shadow of the Great White Way, knows its haunts and its people as few others do. Tomorrow and every Saturday night on most of these same stations, follow Danny Clover on CBS Radio's Broadway is My Beat. It's packed with thrills and human interest.
Is your soldier boy coming home on furlough? You'll be glad to know Traveler's Aid is standing by to help him get home safe and sound. In bus, train, and airplane terminals, Traveler's Aid workers are constantly helping men and women in uniform, mothers with small children, all kinds of people. Traveler's Aid is really hometown insurance for people on the move. If you miss connections, get stranded in a strange town, or misplace directions, you can count on Traveler's Aid to help. Remember, your community chest gift supports Traveler's Aid and 159 other services. So give now to your community chest and give generously. And remember, America now listens to 105 million radio sets and listens most to the CBS Radio Network.